Kill switch. Would you mind checking the YouTube and seeing if it is looking functional?
It looks good.
Cool. Sweet. All right, let me grab my deck real quick. I hope you just don't absolutely stomp me.
Should I play a different deck?
No.
Okay.
I don't need your sympathy. It's okay. Oh, come on.
Because I've destroyed Epic with this one.
It's pretty tuned, huh?
He actually helped me work on it.
Contrary to popular belief, I'm not very good at these games. I try my best and everything, but... Alright, let me... Oh, it's set to top chat again. I hate that it does that shit. MV Pickles is watching. What up? Alright, so... Huh... All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just picking my
No, you're good. No rush. I'm playing Esper colors, and I'm already seeing that I'm happy that it's not just automatic that I can play all my cards. You know what I mean? Like, there is some color fixing required.
All right.
Oh, we don't have the music on?
I don't know. That's
Can I not play it? Am I like restricted?
You're promoted, so you should be able to do it.
Oh man, it's not working.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna start off by dropping an Astrid, tapping that, going Tribulation.
All right. The classic start, right?
Kinda.
All right. I'm just curious if I can play music on here without it being like super loud to the viewer. It's probably pretty good. You guys tell me if that's too loud. MV says no pickles. All right. Herrick, Toxic. Whenever Herrick attacks or destroys an 11 your card, you may probe one. Sure time when Herrick. Okay. My go. All right. I'll throw Tiberius in there. Drop a Flanny and pass.
Right. I think we'll actually just start off by going to combat.
All right. No blocks.
All right. So I'll destroy this one, and I get to probe one twice.
Aight. All right, and then it goes in my hand. Can't play it.
All right. And then I'm going to drop down a Rolf, and then I'm going to tap that. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to Vivification. I'm going to probe one.
Copy. Dang, Herrick's kind of good, huh?
Draw one. I would have rather had those in the opposite order. All right. Then we're gonna tap this. We're gonna Hecatomb, grabbing back the Boudica that I probed away.
Alrighty.
And then he dies.
You got it.
And then, yeah, that's your go.
All right. Oh shit! I didn't use the button. That was lame. All right. So.
Yeah, all my hard work just for you to not use the button.
That's pretty disrespectful, I can admit.
Yeah, honestly, like,
God damn
it's
it.
almost as disrespectful as when I don't use the button.
Yeah, right. All right, I'm gonna tap these. Play my Orpheus to tap Boudica, and then swing with Flanny.
Okay. Which one?
Do this one.
All right. I'll keep that in hand.
All right.
All right. My go.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, here we go. I think we'll. Think this through. I will drop down a Pluto. Then I will tap this to do Vivification. I probe 2, then draw 1.
So, quick question: having
Yeah.
Boudica and Pluto in your deck, does that cause you issues with color fixing, or has it been pretty smooth? 'Cause they're so very different.
I have a little bit of trouble,
Okay.
but like the point is
Oh, this guy's asking questions. Okay, let's try to inform people of mechanics. I found them. Everything is explained with tabletop. Okay, here. Yeah, okay. We are live on YouTube. If you would like to hear us discuss the game. All right, sorry, bud. What were you doing?
okay. So I just discarded the from probe on the Vivification,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will attack with Boudica.
All right, no blocks.
And so first things first, her attack trigger, it lets me take a guy from my soul row and put him on the island. So I'm gonna do Rolf. That lets me probe 2.
All right. So, what does VOYFYI? This is Voy? FYI. It sounds like you're trying to tell me something for your information.
What?
VOY. What does that mean? Ernesto, what up, son? Hey, Ruth, how you doing? All right, so you're gonna attack. You're gonna attack with these two.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I gotta resolve my probe first.
Copy.
Yeah. And then So Rolf is also sidestep, so you can't block him.
Got it.
And then if you're not gonna block Boudica, then I'll take these two.
All right. Huh. Okay, so. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna play Tribulation. And so, how are you looking at them without flipping them?
You hit Shift Alt.
Okay, Shift Alt.
What's the YouTube name?
Just Kryptik TCG. Huh. All right, Tribulation whiffed.
Whiffed. All right. Yeah, and then at the end of the turn, Rolf gets abolished from Boudica's effect, and I pass.
All right. So, click these things. I am going to see how I want to do this. I'm going to throw Fion in there. Play Estrid. Estrid enters the battlefield. Target opponent discards a card of their choosing. So you discard a card.
I think we'll go with that one.
All right. Then I'm going to swing with the team here.
And tapping down Boudica with
yes.
Okay, which ones?
So
which one's getting abolished.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I gotta choose which one gets abolished because that can actually matter sometimes. Camo, what up? Live what you did to the card backs. Ernesto, thank you. They're still work in progress, but they're close. Abolish this one.
Okay.
And then draw these two, or you know what I mean.
Okay.
And I will pass turn.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna put tribulation down, and
Thanks, Killswitch, for explaining that stuff.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
All right. So I'm gonna swing in with Boudica.
All right.
So she lets me attack with him as well.
All right.
Since he entered the island, I get to probe 3.
Wait. No, just changing zones.
But okay.
Yeah, because in the rulebook it says that if a card is cast, so if it says you may cast a card from your soul row or you may cast a card from limbo, it counts as entering the island. But if an effect causes a card to move from the soul row to the island, it doesn't count as entering. It's just technically moving zones.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just didn't know that.
Because I think that would make it way too easy to abuse enter the island effects.
Yeah.
Depending on how the cards are designed, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hot in here.
And then he misses the attack trigger because he comes in to play attacking.
Let me see.
That's how it works for Magic the Gathering, at least.
Okay, so whenever Pluto attacks... Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because Boudica's attacks trigger puts him into play attacking, he misses the timing for attacks. He's just already attacking.
Yeah. How can we make that work in the game where he still gets the attack trigger? Because
I mean, you just say that it works, like, because that's just the ruling for Magic.
Yeah, I don't like that. Because he is attacking, right?
Well, yeah, he is attacking.
Yeah. I like that because that's more obvious to players. I think that rule makes so much more sense. Because anybody that was playing Magic that didn't understand like timing and phases would be like, "What?
Mm-hmm.
He's attacking," and you'd be like, "No, but he wasn't declared as an attacker." You're gonna be like,
well,
"What?"
I'll put Samara out, and then as part of her ability, I'm going to abolish a citizen card from my thing and make her ravenous and kill you.
Let me see what's going on here.
So, if I'm able to bring back a citizen card from my limbo pile to the island engaged in attacking with Pluto, then that means I can get back Samara. Samara then lets me abolish a citizen card from my limbo pile, and she becomes ravenous until end of turn.
Okay.
So I abolish the Herrick, make her ravenous. She hits you for 2 cards. Pluto hits you for 1. Boudica hits you for the last one.
All right. Fair enough.
I think it's a bit too... Like, personally, I think it'd be a bit too ridiculous, because if I've just got, like, 4 Plutos in my graveyard, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but also, like, even though I was 3 away, I had 4, and if I could kill one thing, there'd be, like, very few ways, especially with such little soul, that you could have prevented me. Exactly, very few ways, but... Yeah, I think Sky's Favor, especially being at 2, is just not going to work. Because it's just too, it's too swingy.
Very strong.
It just would swing the game too often, too hard, especially when people swing out.
You can do most everything you want and then cast it on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
Need to go up in cost. Like, I'd
maybe
say 4.
Yeah, and maybe even make it to where you can only play it on your turn.
That makes no sense.
Why?
If it was only on your turn, then I would make the card like 2, like 1. Like, I would make it a generic 1 and then a white blue.
Okay. Well, that's an option.
Because and it better untap your guys, like, because.
Well, you're using it at that point to negate a swing, like people would typically use like a fog.
Well, I'm saying that if you can only cast it on your turn, then that means you'd be the one attacking.
Oh, I meant their turn.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm like sitting here thinking, what is he fucking talking about? I get what you're saying. Yes, yes. No, I said it wrong.
Yeah.
Their turn. Because then they swing, you prevent the damage, and then you're able to come back. No, yeah, obviously on your turn. Yeah, I see why you thought I was an idiot for a moment there. I meant their turn. So even if it was, what if we just made it their turn and kept it at 2? Or...
I don't think that changes enough.
So just 4 is probably better. Because I think 4 is...
I personally think so, just because, like...
It's so accessible,
you don't often use it on your turn. You really don't. I've used it once on my turn. Ever.
Yeah. So having that versatility is not really relevant most of the time. All right. See if we can have some better luck here. Jeez. Yeah, the interactions between those cards with Boudica, Pluto, and them with the different colors, I guess I just didn't intend for them to be in the same deck. So like that interaction seems really strong, but at the same time, if it's kind of difficult to cast, and if you do happen to miss or they're able to prevent you from winning the game outright in that moment, you're stuck with only like 2 soul cards, so they really could come back pretty easily. So I don't think it's necessarily just like busted. I think that it just is good. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I think it's kind of busted.
Yeah.
Because it's already, like, my deck's already good even without having the attack trigger go off.
Yeah. So what's the solution? Changing the word on Boudica to say something like non-undead?
No. I think the solution is just making the ruling so that you can't get the attack triggers from something that enters play attacking.
Is there any other cards where that ruling would matter?
Well, so actually it kind of doesn't for Orpheus, because he would enter the battlefield and he would tap something down. He would just
he would actually miss. He would miss both of his triggers if he came from the soul row, which makes it way worse.
Yeah, but like if you're cheating in from the soul row, you're not picking Orpheus.
Truly, unless you just
Really
fucked up, basically. I mean, yeah, because cheating in from the soul row, I didn't really consider like just how gargantuan of a swing that could really be, just because you could pull an Overlord or similar. So either we make it to where those cards really cannot easily be played in the same deck, or we change the words on one of the cards, right?
Yeah, but the issue is...
Or change the rule.
Yeah, or change the rule. Because you'd have to change a lot of card text.
Yeah. Yeah. Here. I'll put it in there.
The deck's already good, even without the change. Like,
so let's play as if we made that change and see how it feels. So the rule would say a citizen that enters attacking via a spell or ability doesn't like cause attack triggers to like that type of shit. Okay. A citizen.
Well, just make it so that during the command attackers phase, that is when the attack trigger goes off.
Okay.
And then there's only one attack trigger. And so then when something enters in from an attack trigger, the attack trigger has already happened.
Okay, so when attacks abilities can only trigger during the command attacker phase.
Right.
Okay.
I guess it's the same thing as like put into play and cast into play effects, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when attack abilities can only trigger during command attacker. Okay, perfect. And even I would have scratched my head on that on the magic one. Like if that happened, they would have been like, "No, it works." I would have been like, I don't think
I've
so."
played so much Commander that like,
Yeah.
I like, because Kalia of the Vast is like the biggest thing that comes up with, because since her attack trigger causes you to be able to put a angel, demon, or dragon from your hand into play.
Yeah.
And there are a significant amount of angels, demons, and dragons that have attacks triggers. They don't fire off on the first time because the attack trigger just doesn't go off.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right, go for it. So in that last game, you got the trigger off of to grab Pluto, which would have really drastically changed the way that game, but it also would have changed the way you played.
No, I kind of would have done the same exact thing. It just wouldn't have been nearly as effective.
Okay.
Because getting a Ravana from or Samara from the graveyard and making her Ravenous and just bopping you, like, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a complete blowout off of one trigger because it stacked and causes more things to happen.
Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that because I need that. I'm going to go Tribulation.
All right. 4 of, huh?
Oh, big time.
You love that card.
Oh, dude, it honestly, I think it's okay. So you know how much Epic likes counter spells?
Yeah.
And that's how much I like Tribulation.
That's cool though, because like my intent obviously is to design cards that get people excited.
I probe 2 with the Rolf.
All right.
And I'm gonna put a Samara and a Rolf.
And his discard ability could actually be relevant to you sometimes since you're pretty mixed.
Oh, really? Man, I wonder why I put him in the deck.
He's pretty strong.
Well, actually, the thing is that he has sidestep, so him getting like big stat boost doesn't really generally matter most of the time. But anyway, sure go.
Bitcoin Jake's asking me, was wondering what this channel is I'm sub to. No more Pokemon? No more Pokemon. Not for now, at least. I got Pokemon'd out. Now we're making our own game. Bitcoin's like, that's not cool. You just switched it up on me. Hey, but Bitcoin, you'll be happy to hear that there are going to be NFTs with our Kickstarter drop to give you exclusive merch and deals. So stand by.
Yeah, here go.
All right. I did it again. I disrespected your button.
Wait, that's the second time Britney Spears
Yeah.
has come up. The first time was because of Toxic.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I get it. It's terrible. All right.
Comes up in my head every single time I see the keyword.
So I'm going to throw in Holdar.
I also appreciate that you use the correct version, because it's... Wait, so is it supposed to be whenever they deal damage to it, or when it does damage to them?
What are we talking about?
Toxic.
When it does damage to them, it says, right?
So shouldn't it be venomous?
There is a reminder text on some of the toxic. Oh no, it should be on all the toxic cards actually.
Because poisonous is when you eat it. Venomous is when it tries to eat you, and then toxic is when you touch it and it poisons you.
I also liked the toxic one because like people are always saying that like people and like their girlfriends and like people are just like toxic, so I thought it was funny. Because like
I think it's hilarious.
I made like hot girls in the game toxic. So like, yeah, this lady's fucking toxic, man.
Yeah, get her out of here.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna attack with Flanny.
Flanny. Okay.
Bitcoin, yes, we are doing NFTs. They're gonna be tokens that allow you to get certain things, and on top of that, one of my plans is to put.
Take it.
All right. Yeah, that one's cool. Sealed box topper cards in every X amount of booster boxes that have a code redemption for a 1-of-1 NFT. So when people are breaking boxes or stores break boxes to sell packs, they can have the opportunity to get 1-of-1s. Who was it saying that 1 in 100 is too few? Was that one of you guys?
Is it my go?
What?
Yeah, was that one of y'all? Yeah. That said 1 in 100 boxes for the 1-of-1 NFTs was too few.
No, not me.
Because I don't think it is. Because how pimp is that if we do first edition only gets 1,000 boxes, and then past that we do the unlimited run, say it's like capped at 10 or something? That's only 10 1-of-1 NFTs that you could get out of the entire Kickstarter. So that makes them obviously very scarce.
I'm gonna cast Hecatomb. Or actually, my bad. I'm gonna go to combat and hit you for 1.
All right.
Yeah, this one. Then I cast Hecatomb on it.
All right. Just coast my hand.
Hitting back a Samara.
You got it.
And I pass.
Oh. I almost didn't use the button again. Alright, so I'm
sorry,
gonna
it doesn't say disengaged. So.
It's all good. Oh shit, I fudged up. So at the end of your turn I was gonna God damn it. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I was gonna play Vivication. I just got caught up.
Yeah.
So probe one, then draw a card. So I'll draw this. All right, then draw one. So I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna go to my turn. Sorry. So for now, all right, I'm gonna throw Big Boy in there.
Okay.
Tap these and drop Astrid. And then I'm gonna attack with these. Oh no, I highlighted this one too. All right.
I'll block Astrid.
Am I in short time? No, you are. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, right, hit the. Okay. So I shouldn't have attacked with Astrid, but lesson learned. Because I forgot about Flanny's blocked by 2 thing.
Well, you're also not on short time, so I could block him, but I don't want him to go into your soul row.
I forgot that was a thing now. Because before it didn't say that.
Yeah, it's gotten me several times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't feel bad. You're not the only one.
Well, damn it. He says, okay, so how do you eliminate determine values of soul produced? So if you look here, I'll pull the card up. In the bottom right-hand corner, this Duke Rock I just pulled up, there's that black and white soulstone. That means that it can produce either black or white. Then if you look in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see that they're solid black, meaning they have to be paid for with black. And then yes, sir. Sorry, I'm just explaining to the YouTube viewers. And then in the upper right-hand corner of Samara, you see that they're black-green. That means they can be paid for with black or green. And then in the case of Samara, you see it's solid black. In the soul box, we call it, with the little arrow on it, that means it can only produce black. I'm from Argentina and thinking print the cards to test with friends. Oh, Joe, give me like 2 weeks, and I'll have cards that are worth printing that won't have like insane changes to them, so you can just kind of Sharpie them as you go type thing. Because I don't want you to print a bunch of cards and then we have a bunch of changes and it's kind of like you got to print them again, you know? Or you guys can hop on here and play on Tabletop Simulator. We're on here playing all the time, so.
Whoops, that's one too many. Draw one. And then... Okay, I'll swing in with Ravana and hit you for 1.
All right.
Or Samara. I keep thinking Ravana for some reason.
It's all good. All right, goes in my hand. Depends on what the rarity you are after is and total availability of item you desire. As far as the NFTs go, is that what you're asking? Sorry, talking to the chat. What else you got?
You're talking about your scarcity
On the NFTs?
1,000 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Huh. I'm gonna... Damn it. This is tough. I'll start with... Alright. I'm gonna play Zagan.
If I can put a 3-drop or less.
Yeah. Yeah, that one I think, because you know how earlier you were saying that's just kind of a little bit too much upside for the opponent. I think that
I mean, it's kind of not that bad here.
I think maybe going to a 2, but like we were talking about, if you put it to 3 or 2 or less, it gets so much better.
But
You
it
know
is
what I
a
mean?
rare. But,
True.
or just put a, maybe just put a second keyword on him,
Yeah.
like Ravenous.
Okay. Ravenous can be quite nasty as well.
Right, but they get a guaranteed block because you give them a citizen
Yeah.
initially.
True.
And if they just drop a toxic citizen, I mean, you kind of...
All right. I'm gonna swing with both.
Bofa?
Both of
Okay.
them.
All right. You know what? I'll just take it.
Okay, we'll do these 2.
All right.
See, if he was Ravenous right now, that'd be nasty, but you would have blocked him. Maybe. I'm not
Well,
playing
no,
for
'cause
you.
then I would be able to draw another card.
Yeah, true.
I being on the well, I'm gonna just call it 11th hour because I'm trying to push that terminology.
You're like, because that's what the fuck it's called. Here, I'll put it in my notes for consideration. We can, here, let's come up with a couple other ideas, and then we'll just pull it.
I mean, yeah, me and I think it was Pickles or was it Pickles or Kill Switch? No, I think it was Pickles. We were like, yeah, it's 11th hour.
You're on the 11th hour? I like it. I like it. It seems a little long, but I think it's...
Oh, an 11-year card isn't?
Yeah, that's janky, I know, but it was too thematically perfect.
Yeah.
So I had to
know.
keep it. Literally, I was like, 11-year card is like...
That's why the 11th hour is also perfect.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like...
It's called the 11th year. It doesn't need to be 11-year card. I don't
But
know.
you're really on your 65th year. Like you're on 65 years, 11 months, and 30 days.
And name one of the cards in the 11-year row 10 card.
The far right's your 10-year card, and then this is getting
10
weird.
year. I guess I'll go into retirement.
You're like, I have 10-year? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Will you put the new cards JPEG for print? Yes, Joe, I will.
So-
Joe, you need to go on the website. Kryptik
Wait.
Trading.
Actually, before your turn ends, I'll actually cast Hecatomb with the spare mana I had up
Okay.
on Ravana
No problem.
and get back Pluto
Okay.
and then start my turn.
All right.
No,
Let me tell Joe real quick. So, Joe B, go to the website. It's in the description of this video on YouTube. And go to the community dev section and follow the instructions to apply. And you can get access to the community dev shared folder, which will have the PDF for the printable cards very soon.
Then I'll play Isla, and I'm going to attack with Isla, and Pluto. Pluto's attack trigger goes off.
Mm-hmm.
I get Ravana, or
Copy.
Samara.
So you win?
Then, yeah.
So he says, example, MTG Masterpieces had their best odds at 1 in every 129 packs. Yeah, I see that. That's, yeah. I was talking boxes, though, because it's a box topper. So 1 in every 129 packs would be way too often.
So I don't know if it's ruling, not a really ruling, but interaction, but Zagan, and then there's a guy, I don't know how you pronounce that.
Yeah. I've been saying Zagan. This guy?
Zagan. Yep.
Mhm.
And then your opponent puts into play Estrid and just bounces him back.
Yeah, but that's the price you pay for greatness, which is why I think you should have Ravenous as well as Eager. Like,
Yeah,
if you're gonna keep it at 3, he needs that Ravenous as well.
or add Ravenous. Yeah, because he's a demon, so it makes sense.
And,
Zagan's like Prince of the Underworld.
Because
Oh, what was your name issue you were talking about earlier? There was a wolf and a lichen, whatever.
Oh yeah, so Lycan, he's in the
Undead.
yeah. Let me grab him out really quick. So
Alright.
the thing is, the only thing that changes is the spelling. The pronunciation and the name itself stays the same, but the theme becomes stronger because, oh my God, where is he? No.
He said, "What about call it Soul Shields?" Oh no. Joe B, the 11-year card that is in stone. We're not changing that.
Okay, so lichen. You see how it's spelled Lycan, which
Yes.
means wolf-like.
Okay.
Whereas you could call him Lychen, which is a type of fungus.
Okay. So you just have beef with the name.
No, I'm just saying that it gives you options because like
I
I
see.
kind of thought like the undead were like
Games.
plant based slightly, you know?
Oh, this is actually a cool opportunity for me to pull up Photoshop for the viewers so they can kind of see how I do this. You guys can check it out too if you're interested. I mean, you pretty much get it.
Plus,
But okay,
he's undead and lichen. You can't spell lichen without lich.
I like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, join the Discord for sure, Joe. All right, so you guys watching on the YouTubes? Each one of these is a different like text box, so it's all editable by layers. So Lychen, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then it's gotta come down a little bit. It's like a little too high. It's not centered for whatever reason. All right, so like right there. Boom. Look at you. Now I gotta change it in the ability because I always forget to do that.
Oh, yeah. Namely, name.
Yeah, name was hilarious. Dude, no bullshit. In his honor, we should name a card name one day. Be like, people be like, why the fuck is this card? They'll think it's a typo, and I'll be like, no.
His name's Name.
Name. Yeah. Okay, so when Lycan enters the island, place the top card of your main deck into your soul row engage. For the card assistant card from non-ended faction. You may also draw a card. Okay. So I gotta shrink that down a little bit because it's kind of on the edge of the border here. All right, cool. Nice. Looks beautiful. Yeah, that makes sense. I think Lycan, my intent was to get some sort of wolf art for him originally, and then I found this piece, and things change.
Yeah, just like looking at like Pluto and like the other card, like undead cards, they kind of have like a slight like, I don't know, nature theme to them to some extent.
Definitely, yeah.
And so I was thinking like Lycan as like a, especially like Zilia, like where it has like a bunch of like mushrooms growing on her and stuff.
Yes. What a cool art that is too.
Oh yeah, dude, the art in this game blows me away every time.
Fun fact, that card. Okay, which one is it? I'm thinking of Juno. Let me stand by one. Let me rename this on the file real quick so I don't forget. Yeah, it's Juno, right? The one with the purple mushrooms coming out of him? No, I'm tripping. That's Malimo.
Oh yeah, Malimo. Yeah.
Get a mix up every once in a while. Fun fact, Malimo is actually the single most expensive piece of art in this entire game.
I mean, he looks amazing.
He looks sick. Absolutely. But yes, just as a fun fact, paid more for that art than any other art in the entire game. And then Charlie's obviously just gorgeous.
All he is a one cost.
I know. And I hated that, but I'm like, but he's a relevant card and people play him a lot. So like he's going to be seen a lot, which I think is more important from like an art perspective. But let me run one more with this deck.
Okay.
I don't want to give up.
Let me just get the ones out of my hand as well.
So in that situation, I should have just held up a blocker to stop the bleeding. I just don't think that there's any way I can like effectively stop that interaction you have with the limbo pile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Joby says, tomorrow I will send you the card I do on PSD. Oh, Joe, just email it to me, Tanner at Kryptik TCG. I have that domain, if you guys are wondering, so it is going to be kryptiktcg.com one day. It has to be in my possession for 30 days, apparently, before I can assign it to my website, which I don't understand. I think it's a Shopify thing. But I'm always going to have Kryptik Trading Card Game send you to that website, so none of that will matter. But yes, Joe, you can email me Google Drive link or something to the PSD, and I'll check it out. Easier wolf-themed card would be Lupe Garu. Oh, 2 words.
Lupe Garu. Yeah, that's if you've listened to Harry Dresden or read Harry Dresden, it's a pretty cool mythical creature.
Nice. It says var.tech. I don't know what that means, Janelle. It's like they're putting codes in here. Like cryptic codes. And I don't get it. All right, let me make sure my hand's straight real quick. Ooh. I actually kind of want to keep this hand, but it's very janky because of the
just
color
take
fixing.
out the one card that's not working. You know?
I know, but I want to play it.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
I actually got to tap off of. I almost saw your hand. Whoops.
Shit. I want to play that card, but we can't. All right, draw one. And we good to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Duke Rocca, Flanagan. Go ahead. The artist sick. Juturna is my fave, I think. I'd have to agree with that. She's pretty sick.
Juturna is amazing.
She's gorgeous. That artist is just the shit. Honestly, she's amazing. Oh, also I was considering this, and I know this is a massive change, so I'm not saying I'm like planning on implementing this or anything. The maximum card in your deck being 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be quite the change.
Because if you're not counting the lands technically in a deck of Magic, you would really only have like
40 cards.
Like not even really. I mean, a little less most of the time.
Yeah, 36.
Yeah, so is it really make sense to have you do 4 or shouldn't it be 3?
Well, you would have even less consistency.
So there'd be more like luck and oriented.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is fine because it kind of prevents this kind of shenanigans from happening.
Or we're just having a very same feeling game.
Well, yeah, because like I just like do shenanigans and it's your go.
All right.
But like it makes combo decks harder to use, and it also would limit how many counter spells Epic can play because you'd be on a 3 of.
So I'm not picking up any downside to are we gonna find the downside of it too, because we're all pros right now.
It also forces you to use different cards instead of just, you know, I you know what, I've 180'd on this.
I'm like, so you're for it, or
I'm on team
this is
3
highly
up.
confusing. Like you're for it.
Mhm.
All right, this is another thing we're gonna put to a poll. Put to vote, put to poll.
You could just put like at everyone in the server on generic, and then like put like comment a upvote or a downvote. Like, so upvote if you want the 3 of, or downvote to keep 4 of.
Is there a cooler way to do it? Like you can do an actual like
the reactions, like just that way it's an easy poll. Like,
oh, I see. So like do hard eyes if you like it, and do poop emoji if you don't.
yeah.
Okay. Says, isn't what they call the ringer in Louisiana the swamp? Probably. I don't know what you're talking about. Old French story about a werewolf. One of the earliest stories about werewolves. It's cool. All right. Sorry. I'm gonna. What just happened? He just flippied. Whenever Orpheus enters the island, attacks, you may engage target citizen. So you already did it, and then attack with Flanny. No,
Yeah,
this
I
one.
assumed. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I go.
MTG 34-240 without land for standard 60, but the new Digimon, yes, has sets of 4 but 50 card deck. Huh. It's a tough one because it sucks. You can't do 3.5, so it's either 3 or 4, which is a pretty big swing percentage wise. I don't know. 3's feeling nice because that's how I had originally done it. Because I was thinking like intervals of 6, like odd numbers, 3, 6, 6, 6, 6, devil shit. You know what I mean? So that's literally what I was thinking. My original plan, and I'm not saying this isn't going to happen because it very well could, is for there only to be 666 first edition booster boxes. So that's still on the table, just to let you guys know.
Gotcha. Devil worshiper.
Exactly. See, we're going to piss people off.
So I'm actually gonna swing in with Herrick.
All right. So he
The attack trigger goes off, and I probe 1.
All right. So he's got a big butt.
And he
All right.
cannot lie.
No blocks. Yeah, right.
Okay, so I'll hit this one. And then when he destroys an 11-year card, I probe one again.
Yeah. Is his probing out of hand? Jesus. Oh no, he's the other one. I was thinking Rolf. I was like, wait, he enters probes 2 and then attacks probes 1? No, I was thinking.
I've got just a lot of different probe effects because it's relevant to the deck.
All right.
Okay. Let's see that
Tribulation.
Tribulation.
So shift alt. Okay. You're going to think I'm a loser that I literally can't use this again, but I swear I have 3 drops in my deck.
You'd think because like the high like there's the most amount of 3 drops compared to any other.
Yeah, and by far it's the most amount in my deck. I think I have 11, and then my 4 drops is like, I want to say, 6.
To be fair, the only 3 drop was Herrick in my 11-year row when I cast Tribulation on turn 1.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because I've got 2 4s and a 5 and 2. Oh, I don't want to give you all the information, but you know what I mean.
Oh, nice.
Laura, what up?
That's how you interrogate for intel.
Yeah, right. Okay, so do you got anything else?
You know what? I'll pass.
All right. So, I know you got shenanigans over there.
What?
I know you got Hecatomb
Ow.
shenanigans.
Oh, maybe.
Wait, is your Hecatomb a 1 mana still?
Yep.
Okay. Did we change it to 2?
Well, Well, I thought the change was Hecatomb can only bring back.
So we
things
kept
that
it to
cost
1.
2 more than the thing you're sacrificing, right?
Yeah, but we kept it 1 soul cost, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As
me,
far as I was aware, that was the change. I don't know what you actually wrote down.
I don't know. I feel like we came to a consensus on it. So whatever we said was probably what it was. Let me pull it up real quick. I can pull it up in like 2 seconds.
It might have been 3 higher than the thing that you sacrificed, but I dropped it down to 2 just to test that.
Yeah, the current is 2.
Okay. Yeah.
But it still costs 1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Charlie's out of my deck because they cost 6, and I have 3 drops because Tribulation can get 3 drops.
Okay.
So then I can get 5 drops from my graveyard or limbo.
I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw out a Tiberius.
Whoa. Or right, my bad. I did pass the turn. I'm
Yeah,
on some shit.
Yeah, I think you did. I'm gonna play Astrid
Okay.
and attack you, and then
Okay, so at the end of the declare attackers phase,
sure.
I'm going to cast Hecatomb on Herrick, getting Boudica, so that way you can't target her with Orpheus's ability.
Yep, that ship has sailed.
And then I'm gonna block the Astrid.
All right. So she's got 9, but she got 8. Oh, we nerfed her to 8.
She's always been 8, hasn't she?
It actually started as a 10/10.
Oh.
And that was obviously dumb. It also was it bounced and was a 10/10. I'm like, what are we doing with this card?
I love the current state of Astrid, but
I think she's so sweet right now.
Tribulation turn 1 Astrid is like my favorite thing in this entire game.
It's very sweet feeling, for sure. All right, so I'll take these 2 boys right here,
Okay.
and then my lady will
Can't
die.
cast that. I can cast that.
All right, and pass turn.
All right.
You have a lot of cards.
What? No.
I have like
These
very.
these old things. I just threw this on. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put Dagon in the soul row.
All right.
Then So I'm gonna swing in with Samara and actually I'll keep Isla back. I'll put Dagon into play,
All right.
bouncing up Orpheus, and then I'll hit you with both of these.
Oh, okay. Which cards would you like?
These two.
All right. Well, I mean, it's good. I was gonna need some cards eventually, right?
And then at the end of my turn, Dagon is abolished.
All right. And I can play neither of my cards.
All right, here we go.
All right. Joby says, I can't wait to test. Dude, yeah, hop in here. Hit me up if you need help installing Tabletop Sim and all that. All right, so I drew one. Now I got to do some stuff. All right, I'm going to... Huh. I'm actually going to play Mr. Vlad. Throw him in the soul row. I'm gonna Clapton Irons your Boudica. This does have a typo on it. It's supposed to have an 11-year cost of 1. Just to let you know. I did update it.
Gotcha.
So she taps. Okay. And then
She stays disengaged permanently, right?
exactly.
Okay.
So in the case of Boudica, that's strong. And then I'm gonna attack with these boys and
Tapping down my Isla.
tap her. Yep. And I'll take these two and then pass.
Right. I can put Isla into play, and I can cast that, but no, I don't think I will.
All right.
Mostly
says
due to the fact that it engages with my soul, or my 11-year-old, and I don't have one anymore.
Well, shit.
Anyway, I draw 2 cards at the beginning of my turn.
He says Rugaru is a common name for Lupegaru.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In Louisiana, French districts. French Quarter in
gotcha.
Louisiana is actually pretty dope. Like food and drink wise, it is fun. So Dagon is white now. Correct. This is the most up-to-date version. Joby,
Yeah.
take a look. I think it's perfect now. It makes way more sense. You can't just throw it in every single deck, which is nice.
Just do
Wait, is Joby...
things there.
Do we know who Joby is?
I don't know.
People got different names on here?
I don't know.
He says I don't have tabletop. Is expensive. I think it's 20 now, right?
I think it's typically 30 unless on sale. I don't know. I haven't looked in a while.
They switched it to 20, and when it goes on sale, it's 10. It was $10 for a while.
I'm gonna attack with my 2 Islas.
Joe, if you need a little help paying for a copy of Tabletop, just DM the Kryptik Instagram. You're gonna what?
No, I'll hit these 2. I'm attacking with my Islas.
All right. No blocks, obviously.
Hit these 2.
All right, they go to my hand. What else you got?
It's your turn.
All right. So you got some shenanigans. So at the end of your turn,
Oh,
he said, "Wait a minute."
you've got some shenanigans.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be enough to shenanigize your whole situation though. So here, I'll just go. All right. This is just, I guess I just gotta go for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Ferocious Ranks.
Okay.
And then that's this one. So I will go to attacks. And then do your shenanigans.
All right. Sky's Favor, prevent all combat damage, and I probe 1.
To be fair, I thought we were switching that to 4.
Wait, 4. Oh.
We don't have to in this very moment. Let's do both. So in that way,
here,
you would win automatically.
What I do then instead is I do this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I would do this, and I abolish Isla and prevent all the combat damage.
So you win either way.
Yeah.
All right. Let me look at Isla here. Eager, you may pay. And then you would have been able to do that even if it was the green-blue. So making her mono-blue cast green-blue ability is not nerfing her to the point where it's, like, irritating, right?
No.
Mono, and then also ability... What do you think? Okay, so we're considering nerfing that card to be 4-drop. What about Isla?
I think Isla should be at least 3 to use the ability.
What about having a tapper? So you can't just bust it and do it that next turn. So you could do tap and pay 2. So it still stays cheap. Oh, she's eager. What the fuck? I'm tripping. Doesn't matter.
Well, also, it would prevent you from tapping Isla to activate Isla's ability in the Soul Row.
Mm-hmm. So you may also pay 2.
So if you made it so that you had to tap Isla in addition to paying the 2, that would nerf it enough, I think. Maybe. You might need to make it even worse.
What about not allowing you to do it from the Soul Row? Because that's essentially making your card cost 0 in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of times the Soul Row benefit is the main reason why you play her, and she's only an uncommon, so like even just doing that much, because she's already eager on top of that, like.
So remove the Soul Row part and leave it at 2.
I would, yeah, probably.
I think that's pretty fair. I mean, because you pay, well, then you'd be paying 3. So if you compare that to Sky's Favor, it's still massively better than that card, kind of.
Yeah, in a way.
Because it's 3 and it has way more utility because it's essentially 2 cards at that point. It's like a split card almost, it feels like. It's like a Sky's Favor mixed with a 1-drop Eager. Which I understand it's not a 1-for-1 comparison because you can obviously interact with the citizen or destroy it or, you know what I mean? But it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I say let's just start with a subtle change, not go crazy.
The difference is that Isla can't be played at spell speed.
Yeah.
So you can't really surprise your opponent with it. They already know that it's there.
So I think maybe just remove the Soul Road text and change the colors.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
I think the Soul Row text is just too strong.
Yeah, because that wouldn't have changed the outcome of this game, obviously, but...
Right.
Tight. All right. Excellent.
Because, like, I legit held off, like, the 1-drop dot deck for, like, 8 turns because of Isla and Sky's Favor.
Yeah. Killswitch, you want to get a game in with him? And I can,
Yeah, I'll hop out.
No, I can spectate. You guys play a game and I'll just, I'll keep the stream up and then I can talk to the people in the chat and stuff. If you guys want.
Yeah, I'm down.
Killswitch, you in here?
A different deck.
Am I big? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you and Q play one if you don't mind, and then I'll just continue to spectate. So do I have to like push anything to become a different color?
Yeah, you click your name in the top right corner, and then
Was that good enough? Yeah, I'm good, right? Oh no, I gotta click this. Okay.
I want to try out this deck. Oh, whoops.
Dude, my laptop is like barely hanging in doing all this shit at the same time. It's struggling a little. Joby says expensive for my country. Yeah, like I said, Joe, just text me or send me a DM on the Kryptik Instagram. I'll get you hooked up. I offered that to somebody last stream and they just didn't. They just never messaged me. I'm like, all right, all good.
Is my generosity not enough?
Yeah, come on. So which decks are you guys playing?
I'm playing a mono green deck.
Okay.
Mystic Undead.
So
I don't know what to call my deck, to be honest.
all right.
I seen Vlad and was like, let's see what I can do. And he's not really the focus. He's just kind of.
This is Soul Road Tribal.
So I can't
just
see your
try and
hands?
shove as many cards into Soul Road.
Just give me 2 seconds. I'll be back.
I feel like that's kind of whack. I can't see your hands.
Oh, yeah.
You'd think they'd let spectators see their hands if you wanted them to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, it's because people could just swap to spectator, look at other people's cards, and then swap back. Like,
Yeah. Which for our purposes would obviously be ridiculous, but
Well, for
like
most
no one,
games, that would be ridiculous.
no, I'm saying like no one would do that. I like obviously
Oh, yeah.
knowing what's in their hand is super powerful, but I'm saying like it's not really an issue here.
Mhm.
I got a sweet ass view of the game though from the side. It's tight. Oh, he's got a Gengar as his picture.
Yeah.
Nice. Fucking strangling a Pikachu. I like it.
Okay, sorry about that.
Joby says no, I'm new. Joby, how'd you
rolled
hear
a
about
one.
us?
Oh, I still have a mulligan.
Yeah, I haven't either. Oh, okay, yeah, you go first.
Yep. Is it a choice or do you have to go first?
I mean, you can choose, I believe.
Yeah, you
right?
choose.
Like, okay.
I don't think there's a scenario where going second is beneficial. But you know how like some Magic players do that, and you're like, I don't know, mathematically speaking, people that go first tend to win more. So
Yeah.
It depends
And
on
there's-
the deck, though.
yeah, and there's really no way around that. Like I was thinking, like trying to brainstorm. He's saying who's playing. We got Kill Switch and Q. They're two of the community developers. They're in there playing. Justin, what up, baby? It's really hard to come up with a way to kind of nerf the first player. I don't think you need to. I don't think there's enough of a swing for it to always matter, especially when you're playing best 2 of 3. But I kind of put some thought into that.
All right.
I'm gonna switch out these playmats soon too. Get a fresh look.
I'm gonna drop a Hecate and pass.
Oh, Q, do you think there's a
And-
way to have it display a random tabletop for each person? Like, so like say you play a game 10 times, it'll show you like 10 different tabletops.
You're saying like
The design that has the
you
board
press
on
this
it.
button?
No, like
Huh.
you load into the game and it randomly loads in a tabletop design.
I know that I can do a random onload. I just don't know if I can affect the tabletop.
Peace out, Joby.
I'd have
Well, it's
to-
just an
I'd have
object.
to really, yeah, no, I'd have to really look into it, but I could
Yeah.
try.
Cause that'd be cool, right? Like you come and play, and like every time you play, it's a different design or a different feel.
Mhm.
Almost like in Magic Arena, like when you have like
Yeah.
random like settings and shit.
So
You could even do
can
different
pass.
backgrounds.
Yes, sorry.
No, my bad. I should have just known from.
I was just letting you talk.
Yeah. I'll drop a Wolfric, and then I'll tap 2 and play Lure.
All right.
Pass.
Sacrifice 4, plays top card. So you like Fleur?
I'm trying out. So this is Soul Row Tribal. So every
Uh-huh.
single card that puts a card in my Soul Row is in this deck, except for
Tight.
Flanagan, because I didn't want to branch out that far.
Yeah. He's got some fatal poke action. Nice. Isn't that kind of a funny name?
Well, it's kind of like what's the name of the card? My God. The misstep card where basically it does it has morbid and gives you -13, -13.
Oh, so it's either -1/-1 unless there's morbid, tragic slip.
Yeah, tragic slip.
Yeah.
I think that card's funny. So on
Yeah.
the end of your turn, I'm gonna actually sacrifice Floor.
Okay.
And
So for
with
those of you
this-
watching, he just sacked Fleur so he could get the top card of his main deck into his soul row. So it's basically like a ramp card.
yeah, then I'll
And if you did some sort of like cantrip card like Vivification or Soaring Cascade, you could manipulate which card
I'm gonna cast
that
Lycan.
could be.
And then when he enters, I also do the same thing.
Sounds good.
But it enters engaged. Oh, whoops, that's not the direction I like. Okay, there we go. Pass.
I like it. You guys are building. Like he's building the big cast. You're building the big soul.
Let me tell you that I'm gonna have a big soul row by the end of this game.
It's good.
I don't know if the 12 slots I've allocated to this is gonna be enough.
Nice. The card back's really growing on me. Not that I didn't like it originally. I just like become accustomed to it.
Yeah, same.
The only thing is the letters aren't quite right. Like how they're outlined and glowed out. Like I gotta probably tune that. I'll probably actually end up hiring somebody to do like a custom thing. But we're close.
Personally, I think that the inside of it is not right. Like that, personally, I would like a slightly different effect on the inside of it.
Oh, not the
Bounce.
texture.
Yeah,
Yes.
like the texture, but
Yeah.
So you're bouncing my like, and I see. Yep. And
Yeah, the
it's a
texture's-
0
yeah.
drop.
Doesn't really go with it.
Mhm.
It's kind of a random texture I put on there in Photoshop.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. I think it'd be best to hire an actual designer to like take it, break it down, and actually like integrate it in a way.
Mhm.
Maybe even integrate it into the cloak, make it look tight.
Yeah. I'm gonna play.
Do you like how purple and blue it is, or do you think it'd be better if it was a little more muted?
I like how purple and blue it is.
Okay.
I just think that the inner words need to be a bit more poppy because they just kind of sit there.
Yeah.
It's hard to see the name of the game on that backdrop.
It doesn't pop enough. Like even if it had like a
Yeah.
big like purpley blue like gradient glow behind it or something. Here, let me pull it up. Hopefully my computer doesn't melt.
You didn't replay the Lycan.
Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything rash. Alright.
Honestly, with just
block
no
with Hana.
texture, it looks way better.
Okay.
And she goes to my soul row.
Sure.
Engaged. And I go.
Yes.
Alright. I think I will cast Midnight Reminder.
Okay.
And then I'm going to. Well, actually, I'll do it like so. And I'll tap this down to cast it, so then it comes into play untapped.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Alright, and then I will drop down a Lycan, and then I will, oh whoops, I will drop another Hana,
Okay.
and I will pass the turn.
End of your turn,
Mm-hmm.
I will fatal poke.
Uh-huh. Or, yeah. belongs. So yeah.
We're just going with these two, or
All right.
attempt.
I'm gonna block that with that, and I'll block. You know, actually, I won't block with these left. I'll take it.
Sounds good.
Just thought I would let you know, but Q as well as Kill Switch have an echo. Ooh. How bad is it?
Oh, maybe it's not going over Discord, but it's going over the YouTube.
Huh. Control decks prefer going second.
Is it maybe
Due to
because you're
card
also
drawing.
streaming Discord? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors
I
here.
stopped the stream on Discord.
I would say that control decks, while you're saying they prefer going second, I wouldn't say that's universal or anything, but I mean, maybe in some instances. I don't really like ever going second, to be honest. It feels terrible.
I don't mind it that much. Play Cilia.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll pass turn.
Mm,
Just gotta let you know that, you know, she's toxic.
Yep.
Oh no.
Going with both of them.
Alright, yeah, I'll block Felicity and maybe yeah, I'll just actually no, again, I'll just take the damage from Dahlia. Alright. Still take the damage from oh, my bad. So they both die.
Yes. Unless you
So-
want to Isla, I guess.
No. I'll probe one.
Then we'll go just go to the next card in the row.
And boom, there it is. Hold on. I'll Rash Judgment Bahana.
For your cards that allow fogs, Isla, I think it was called, so play things at instant speed MTG for a land Alchemist Refuge. It costs blue, green, and tapping. Yeah. Yeah, we found that we can't like directly always just compare things to Magic just because of the different life system, but it is a
So,
good
like,
starting point.
and that's Ahana. And so I draw a card. Then with Lycan now. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Hecatomb on Lycan
Okay.
and get Zilia. cast from my limbo pile a Wolfric. I will pass the turn.
Mana or soul and pass.
He said, I like how that is coming out. Is definitely a lot easier to read. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, I'm sitting here reworking the card back a little bit while you guys play.
Yeah. Oh, whoops. So I'm gonna tap this, and
Get a little more artsy with it.
put a Samara into play with Myzelia. And then I think I'll tap this and this to play Lure. And then you don't have sidestep, right?
Nope.
I'll swing with Zilia and Wolfric
Sure.
from left to right. If you're not going to block Zilia, that is.
Abolish. You'll just let me destroy an 11-year card to bring back Zilla.
Well, no. That's when you destroy mine while he's out.
That's what I said. You
Oh,
would just
okay.
let me
Yeah.
destroy an 11-year card to bring her back. That's fine. I'll take both of these.
Okay.
I will cast this.
Oh, nice.
I guess I will target Wolfric.
All right. And then if there's nothing else, I'll pass the turn to you.
Sounds good.
Uh-oh. All right.
Let's just go in with this guy.
Block with Fluey.
Sounds good.
I don't know. I really like it.
So,
Well, it's toxic, so he kills him too.
right, I'm just thinking of something. If you block and then sacrifice him,
No, he doesn't do damage. So then he doesn't provide toxic.
Like
If
he's
I
pulled
want-
out of combat,
If I
right?
want you to, yeah, if I want him to
Well,
kill, in
my-
Magic the Gathering it works the other way, but or no, it would stop. It would block the attack, but like so you would still hit me if I sacrifice Fluor.
so my attack would still go through them.
But I don't. I'm just blocking him, and I'm getting the
I
toxic.
know that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm just asking if you
Yes.
were to block and then sacrifice Floor for his effect, is my attack still counting as blocked, or does it now go through?
It goes through. It's
Okay.
yeah, it's in the rule book.
Yeah, it's just like that just never made sense to me in Magic. If something was declared blocked and it was removed, that it was still blocked because it's not there anymore. So that never made sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's hard for new players to grasp too.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I guess I'll go 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah. I'll go Wolfric. And then I will cast the Lycan from my graveyard, or from my limbo. And with that in play engaged.
Are you guys able to see YouTube?
Yeah, I just haven't been paying a whole lot of attention to it.
No, it's all good. But look, what do you think about this? See how I added like space fog to it, and then I did a bar across so you could see it?
Right. I would just.
You could always do a more blue-green specter like Age of Sigmar Night Haunts, and your name should stand out a bit more.
Yeah, I would give it like a contrast color in the inside of it. Like you could even go with like a silver maybe.
Oh, like the font?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not font.
Oh.
It's a fucking goddamn object.
Well,
Son
there's
of
no
a...
way it could be font with how it's designed. So yeah.
Yeah, I drew it on Procreate on my iPad.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. My bad. So I will attack with Cilia and Ravana.
Oh no, Photoshop crash. Fuck. Son of a bitch.
Alright. Yep. So they both die. And then you get to draw a card. And then I get to probe one. And then, yeah, just that one.
1, 2, 3, 4. I will cast it.
Nice.
All right, pick. See you soon.
And then what are you bouncing?
Wolfric.
Okay.
If there's nothing else, I'll pass the turn.
Alright, I can just click this button. That's right.
I mean, I did design it just for you.
What a guy.
I'm sorry that it doesn't actually say disengage on it. That is my ultimate failing. I'm working on it. But I pretty much have to change like a ton of stuff to actually make it work.
Really?
Well, just like where it's put, I don't actually change like a whole lot of code. I just need to change where I store it.
Okay.
And then refer to it from different locations. And
Nice. All right, Pickle. See you soon.
What to do? What to do?
It's kind of weird the chat doesn't update on OBS. Only on YouTube. Kind of weird. Yeah, Ernesto, that never happens to me. I just don't think that my computer likes streaming, playing Tabletop Simulator, and running Photoshop, and 8 tabs, and Discord.
I wonder why.
Yeah, it doesn't do all that at once because it's a laptop. Although it is a Ryzen 9 RTX 3070 laptop.
Well, how much RAM do you have?
That might be an issue because it's 16.
Only 16. Yeah, because the Photoshop is a RAM devourer.
Yeah, and it actually prefers Intel processors, which is a bit annoying, being that I'm a huge AMD fan.
I'm an Intel fan, but I don't run Photoshop. I run Clip Studio Art. So
I don't know shit about that.
yeah, Clip Studio Art's pretty good.
I actually have the AMD logo tattooed in like a traditional format on my forum.
True. So I'm gonna Wolfric, maybe you don't go there. There we go.
Did all your Honas end up in your soul row from play?
No.
Okay.
I likened in several.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to cast Midnight Meanderer, targeting Wolfric.
Okay.
Oh.
Ernesto likes Clip Studio as well, he says.
It's so good, especially the vector layers that let you get that ultra fine detail. So nice.
Yeah. I've just always been a Photoshop guy.
Discord. Well, Clip Studio Art is very good for people doing anime art styles, particularly. But that doesn't mean that it's not flexible to other things. It's just it works really well for anime art styles.
Yeah. Yeah, Ernesto, I usually don't have a problem with it, honestly. It's just with streaming, I guess.
You put Wolfric in your soul row this turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to play Rash Judgment.
Okay. To
counter it.
Okay.
Oh, you're not on short time. Ooh, there's another coding challenge for you. Don't want to overload you or anything, but I bet you there's a thing you could do that would appear on the player's side that has less cards in their 11-year card row that says short time.
Yeah, I could make it really obnoxious or not.
It could just be like a small object that appears.
Right, like a little clock or something that
yeah, like next to your name or something.
I don't know if I can do it next to the name.
Or on the field or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna cast Zilia.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Wolfric from. Oh wait,
Hold
I
on.
don't have a Wolfric.
Thinking about this. So it can hit the field, no problem. That's
Okay.
fine. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Then. Let me see.
Zilla's a beast. What qualifies as short time? So if you see these cards right here, these are their 11-year cards, or shields is what some people would call them in other games. Whoever has less of these is on short time. So if you're equal, neither player is. But say he only had 2 and he had 3, this player would be on short time. And there's a lot of cards that care about that.
I cast Fluor with the Zilla's ability.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I realize I don't have a Wolfric in my limbo,
Oh, shit.
so can't really cast him from there, can I? So now, I'm gonna go ahead and you don't have sights, or you do have sights up because you also have a Lycan. I too have taken a Lycan to him. Thank you. That's my
Wait, do you have any kids?
nope. But
Because
people,
you got dad jokes for days.
I'm gonna. Oh wait, no, I can't. Yeah, I can't. My bad.
Kill switches. I'm watching you, fool.
You know what? Yeah, I'll just swing in with her too.
Do you think the back would be even cooler if it had more of a purple and blue? Like if it was more vibrant?
I think there should be just more contrast. I think.
It's flat.
Yeah, it's kind of flat.
Yeah.
Here, let me see what you. So you're gonna block there, and you're gonna draw a card, or oh, okay. Yeah.
They're good.
Mhm.
And then I will take the 1 damage here.
Okay.
That's the thing about the card back is that's it. It's locked in.
I will cast this,
Mhm.
targeting Zilla.
Okay. And then if that's it, then I'll pass the turn to you.
That is it. I will draw.
Seems like a pretty good game. A lot of interaction.
I filled all 12 slots of my.
Nice. Yeah, there's really no need to take that any further. Maybe you could even reduce the
Maybe.
amount of cards in your deck that do that.
No.
Yeah, hell no.
I need to just find ways to cast them from here now.
Yeah.
Maybe put in a spicy Brandwin.
I feel like just leaning into white with Dagon and Flanagan feels nice,
Maybe,
but
I
that's a lot of
already
white.
have the blue
Yeah.
with the Hanas, so I probably just throw a Brandwin in.
Yeah.
Plus
Oh,
Brandwin's
definitely
really good.
Brandwin for sure.
Because then I could just cast Unholy Mess from my graveyard.
Which is pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Go play a Pluto.
Which is
So-
pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Probe 3.
Unholy Mess, though, remember, we're going to do is only on your turn.
Yeah. Well, I can't cast it from my Soul Row because I don't have any cards that do that with spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pass turn.
All right. Oh. Never mind. I remembered. I do have a means.
See?
Yeah, I guess. First things first, I'm gonna sack Fluor.
Yep.
To, top card. I'll just put that here for now. I'll put that here for now.
Sure. Yep.
Then I will. Or wait, no, I'm being dumb. I'll tap that. I'll play Juno to return this card to my hand.
What card was that?
Unholy Mess.
Okay.
I wish I could see your hands.
Yeah, so I draw Unholy Mess. I will attempt to cast the Unholy Mess.
Counter.
Yep, goes through Zoro.
Yep. Is it engaged? Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. And then in that case, we'll play Azilla.
Yep.
I see. We are at an impasse.
Yellow is a contrasting color to purple, and silver wouldn't be terrible for name. I would
Or
suggest seeing
gold.
what colors, yeah, Spectre can be to make it pop more. Yeah, I could even add like highlights to the Spectre to.
If you could do like a
The
gold
Overseer.
filigree, but I don't know if that's too much.
Might be a little much, but it's funny. The border that's actually on the back, you see how it's black?
Yeah.
There is a gold version of it,
Oh.
but gold, it just seems a little, like purple
Well-
and gold. Like, what are we, pimps?
We're kings. No,
Kings. Okay, we're king
Nah.
pimps.
no, I'm just saying like maybe just the outside border, instead of it being white, make it like a slight gold, like glow around Kryptik.
I will
Maybe.
take your Zilla.
I'll make like 4 versions, and we will vote, and then refine the one
Alright.
that gets voted on. I do have one more designer designing a totally unique one too, so
Mhm.
Maybe that'll just be baller, and we'll just go with that. King Pimps, lol. That's gonna be the top tier of devs. They're gonna be the King Pimp devs.
Oh, fuck.
Pretty good.
I will attack with Pluto.
Yep.
Search my soul row.
For your
Orbit.
limbo pile to the island.
Did I not put? I'm sure I put Pluto in here. Huh.
In your deck?
Yeah, if I didn't, I made a mistake because he puts in Soul Row eventually. So
I
that's
guess
random.
I will also go in with Lycan Dahlia.
All right.
Oh, Corbin should also be in your deck probably too,
Yeah, probably.
since you can just straight cast
Actually,
him from
hold
him.
up. Why am I doing any of that? Just abolish the Isla. Or the Ela? I'm not sure the pronunciation.
I was thinking her name was Isla, but then I'm
Isla?
thinking maybe we should change her name to Ayla. Isn't that how you spell Isla?
I don't know.
Did you pay for this?
Yeah, with this and this.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So this goes into my soul row at the end of my turn. Right?
And he's steadfast, so he remains untapped.
Right. And then, there you go.
Isla is a Hebrew name meaning oak tree, or circle of light around the sun or moon, if it's Turkish. Oh, it can mean halo moonlight.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of fitting for her.
I'm gonna play Ela, and then I'm gonna play. Oh, okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Then I'll play Vital Deliverance to search
Oh,
for.
that was the first thing. You may search your deck for a card and place it in your soul row engaged. Hopefully your main deck.
I'm changing Isla's name right now.
I will counter that with Rash Judgment, and it shall remain staying in my soul row.
The change to that was abolish it, right?
What's that?
Oh, we're
Uh,
playing with changed? I was not there when it got
Let
changed.
me pull it up real quick. 'Cause
The Rash Judgment.
I don't think we changed it.
Dagon
We just
combo.
changed. Yeah, we just changed the wording on
Dagon.
Branwyn.
Oh, only
So let me-
Branwyn. Dagon
let me
can
pull it
still
up.
do it.
You can change this. Brandon was when you cast from the soul row, abolish it.
Yeah, we didn't change Rash Judgment because we just nerfed Branwyn's ability, and we figured since Dagon was a 5-drop, it was less important. But
Okay.
obviously, in a game like where you guys are having, where it's super long, it's feeling like it's
No.
totally irrelevant. But for now, that's the card is what it is.
Okay. So then I'll go ahead and swing in with Lycan and hit you for 1. And sidestep. Like,
Oh,
just like that one, yeah.
All right. He says, "I think you're right. The S is silent. No, not even an issue anymore because her name's been changed to Isla, Ayla.
Nice.
Make it easier for everyone." Is there any other jacked up cards we should rename? Not on the field right now. These are all looking pretty chill.
Thinking about it.
Killswitch loves him some detention.
I do.
That card's tight. It's so cool. It's like an old school painting.
Does Vlad affect the discard pile or the limbo pile?
It
Yeah, you're
does-
casting him.
It says casting it, so yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say from your hand, so yeah.
I will use Zilla to cast Dahlia.
Mhm.
One,
Return Zilla to hand?
More like you're liking.
Oh, I'm not liking that.
Oh Jesus, there it is. He's waiting for that one.
You fell into my trap, you fool.
What is that shit that Yu-Gi-Oh players say? You activated my trap card.
Yeah.
You've activated my trap card. It's like, fuck you.
Bad joke.
God damn it.
And I will swing with Pluto,
Getting back something from your.
Dahlia. And
I'm sorry. How did you search your graveyard easily before?
You just right click it and you hit search.
Okay.
And then it pulls up a list of cards and you can choose from them and then plug.
Oh, I don't think I can do it as a spectator. It's all good though.
Oh, yeah, no.
I was just curious what my man had in there.
Yeah. So that's all you're attacking with?
Yes.
All right. I'll take it.
Okay.
These happen simultaneously, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not going to be relevant.
Yeah, you can choose like which one.
All right.
Yeah. You basically have the option to cast any of the ones you want.
Yeah, it's just that if they all happen simultaneously, then the card that I got was not relevant to that at all.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got a Zilla.
Are you casting it?
Yeah.
I will use Dagon's 1 soul row per turn to counter it with Rash Judgment.
Okay. My turn.
Yep.
So this is what we were talking about with Rash Judgment and the Dagon interaction being a...
It's another like infinite without being as many times as you want per turn now. It's just a once per turn.
Yeah. So I mean, it sucks to be on the other side, but it's not like breaking the game. It's like a guaranteed I'm holding up 3 to prevent one thing you're doing.
That's fine.
All right. Okay. It goes to my soul row.
Oh wait, I'm no longer on short time, so it's actually.
Got ya. You didn't see my trickery coming.
Oh, we did that too. Okay, yeah, so it's fine.
It's always.
I think it's fine the way it is, right?
I'll play another Lycan.
Sure.
Oh, whoops. It's a Juno, so that means I get to draw a card.
Have you guys ever ran out of cards?
Not yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, so like if you were to run out of cards here, you would take your limbo pile and shuffle it into your deck. But how did I word that though? Because does it happen instantly when you draw that last card, or
There's no specification in the rulebook.
there definitely needs to be?
Yeah. So he's not tapped. She is, and she is. Oh wait, shouldn't Hana be in your soul row? Yeah. Nope. If you just play as many. That's why we need wider play mats.
Yeah. I'll look into the custom table thing to do larger custom tables.
Yeah, pass.
I can ask those guys in that other game too, Nostalgics. I mean, I don't hate the name, Nostalgics with an X. It's pretty tight, like, but there's nothing nostalgic about the game. Is my problem with it. Like the art and the style of the card.
Yeah, it's
is
stylized.
Yeah, it's like not a nostalgic game at all. So it's kind of a little weird.
I mean, it kind of looks like Digimon, like, or like what is it? Sky. What is that called? It had like this whole thing where you collected figurines and then you like put it on
The ones that you throw?
No, you don't throw them. It's for a video game. Like you have a bunch of
Oh.
figurines and you put the figurines on a platform and then
Skylanders.
yeah, Skylanders. They had like a card game. So
Are they talking about that one where you like throw the thing out and it like grabs shit?
no.
No, you put it on a portal and it summons it inside the game. It's kind of like a Nintendo Amiibos.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. As well. So as
That
far
sounds
as
like a
I'm
lot.
aware, the only field limit in a game is Yu-Gi-Oh. Or is there more? Because
Duel Masters, Kaijudo, Yu-Gi-Oh.
What, do you know what Duel Masters limit is?
no.
Oh wait, no, there is not a limit. No, I'm wrong.
And then in
There would-
the
Are-
MLP CCG, there is a home limit, which means that only cards in your home are limited, not in the problem areas. But yeah, sure, go.
What's Yu-Gi-Oh's limit?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's 5, right?
Oh, so that's obviously way too low.
Actually, 7 with the new
Oh, right, the
zones.
extra monster zones. I
To
forgot.
compete for those two.
Yeah.
Yep, Duel Masters is saying there's no limit.
It's Argent Saga that kind of combined Yu-Gi-Oh! And Duel Masters, and the field limit is 5.
Hmm.
One,
Five,
two,
wouldn't 5 be too low for us?
Way too low.
Right?
all
Should
over.
we even do a field limit?
I don't think we should. Most games don't.
Yeah. Just feels like another
You
rule
gonna
for no
get my
reason.
tour?
Bounce Lycan?
Actually, I think, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and put some rash judgment on that Dahlia.
You see how it's like
How
an
does it feel?
overseer in the art,
How
and
does
he's
it
saying,
feel?
"Nah."
I'm going to use Pluto to attack and bring him back and bounce it anywhere.
I think she's a she.
She got a titty.
Acknowledge the pronouns.
Wait, does it say she anywhere on the card? Nope.
Well, it says
The
in
T-
revenge. Yeah, the flavor text says in revenge and in love.
Yep. Yep.
Woman is more barbarous than man.
So, this,
Mhm.
and then she is in bouncing a Lycan
Mm-hmm.
and a Zilla.
All right. In that case, we're gonna block the Pluto with Fleur. Actually, hold on. Before I do any of that, we'll just Isla.
Okay.
Alright. See if there's an out here. Ooh.
Is this the longest game you guys have ever played?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because I was curious, like, if this is kind of normal for you guys or not. You guys have
No.
definitely played a lot more games than me.
I have not ever gone to this long in a game before.
I'm not sure if I agree with the draw 2 when you have no 11-year cards left.
I think it's perfectly fine.
We've had varying opinions on this, and it's like always so situational that I don't know. It's just so hard to tell. I don't want it to be like where there's too many.
You need to draw 2 for any reason.
What's up?
I don't think you need to draw 2 for any reason.
Okay, so here's the reason. You have Dahlia, Zilla, Dahlia, Lycan, Dagon, Vlad, Pluto.
Yeah.
I need something.
You have like every short on time effect that's in the game that's really good already. Why do you need to draw another card, right?
It's just another come from behind mechanic. I'm not saying I
I'm gonna
think it's
corpse heist.
correct or final. I'm just saying like that was the idea behind it, because I was just really leaning into that coming back thing because I just really hate getting snowballed and smashed. So I think it's cool for a player to always think they have a chance.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. I'm gonna get back a Zilla.
Okay, after it hits the field, I will use Dagon to cast this on it.
Okay. Well, when she enters the island, or when she enters limbo from the island, I may probe 1. I'll put the grave swap there. And then I'm gonna cast Heckin Tomb and sacrifice Juno.
Oh, it's the old Hecatomb still?
Well, it hasn't been. Well, I can still get a 3-drop from my.
I know. I just thought I updated it.
I
thought I
haven't- we
updated
haven't
the
loaded
sheet.
in again.
Huh. It's all good. I'm gonna actually stick to the Sunday thing this time. I'm compiling all these changes and I'm gonna make a day of it again because this is gonna be the last long Sunday.
So, play with the Hecatomb changes or nah?
Yeah, so it'll be Hecatomb plus 2, so it'll be
Okay.
3 drops.
I'll get a Lycan. Actually, if it's Hecatomb as was or as is going to be, I think I'll sacrifice Fleur instead to get Zilla.
Yep. I think what's that? Artemisia's Revenge that abolishes. I think its stock is slowly rising as people are really abusing the limbo pile.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like abolishing might be more important than we thought.
Then just to be safe, I'm going to use Zilla. To cast Zilla. And then with that Zilla, oh, wait. Hold on. I'm going to cast this Zilla. Then with that Zilla,
He's like, what the fuck?
we're gonna cast a Lycan.
Seems fair. 2, 3,
then-
7. 1, 2, 3, 6,
We get a
7.
Gila.
It's close. Cause 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's even right now. I don't know what's in his hand, but
I don't think it does it. And then, yeah, I'll pass the turn. Oh my goodness,
If you didn't have Tequila, it would have been fine.
dude. Pluto plus Dagon is ridiculous because you get them back from your limbo, they go back to your soul pile, then Dagon can cast them from the soul row, and then yeah, that's kind of nutty.
so wait, Dagon can. What are you saying? Can cast what?
Oh, because Pluto takes things from the limbo, puts them on the field temporarily, and puts them back into the soul pile or the soul row,
Uh-huh.
and then Dagon can cast from the soul row, so they go back out onto the island, and then it's kind of like it's a good engine. It doesn't like win you the game instantly, but it helps you grind out games,
Yeah.
especially when you have a Vlad to make things cheaper.
Mm-hmm. So he's basically got to find a way to remove. Like if you had any removal spell targeting Isla, he could in response. Oh, is he tapped out?
No.
You have 2 left. So yeah, you could in response prevent damage for this turn, but that would only buy him 1 more turn. So you basically just have to remove Isla and keep stacking.
Can't believe you maned the Isla. Like,
I
actually,
didn't mana it. That was Lycan.
yeah, well, you still put it in Soul Roll through an effect, so it's still you sold it.
Well, isn't that the change to Isla? She's no longer getting her soul row effect.
Exactly. You can't play it from the soul row.
But is that in effect right now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I say
I've
we
been
should play
doing
that
my
way.
Hecatomb changes and stuff. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I just cast Dahlia, 1, 2 from Solro, and bounce
for
Isla.
spawn, I'll
That's the
abolish
problem.
her and
But
prevent combat damage this turn.
It does allow you to beat him next turn if he can't beat you. Perhaps, depending on what's in his hand, but yeah.
Hmm. I need to stop one sidestep. That's fine.
You have the Lycan already, so
I know. Hmm.
Is casting the spell a required part to the effect? IB, which one are you talking about? Isla. He's asking on Isla, is casting the spell a required part of the effect? I don't really understand your question, to be honest. You pay 2 and abolish Isla, and it prevents combat damage for the rest of the turn. So you would, yes, you would have to cast her to use that ability. She has to be on the island to use that ability. Or is it referring to the speed of activation?
I'm gonna play Wolfric. You counter it.
I mean, doesn't have eager, right?
No.
Is there a way to give it eager? Let's see. Now I'll let it through.
All right. Then I will. I think I'll cast Lycan. Is that good?
It's fine.
Okay. I'm going to cast Hecatomb on Juno.
Okay.
So she goes thing, and I get back. I'll get back a Pidouer. I'm going to use up one of my mana casts of Zilia to play Juno.
Okay.
And that lets me return a card from my soul row to my hand. No, come on. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get back Ela. And then I'm going to pass said Ela.
Don't worry, the Island Night will be over soon. This card is irritating as fuck.
Is that good?
Fine.
All right. How many sidesteppers do you have?
1.
All right. I swing the 3.
Wait, wasn't Wolfric played this turn?
No, he was played last turn. Or
Yeah, because he let him resolve this turn.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
was-
you're right. My bad. Okay, then in that case, I think I keep shields up. But I'll use my other 2 casts of Zila to cast a Fluor. And a Fluor. And then I will pass. Here, I'll make my Zila pile.
I think it's time for some spicy noodles.
Ooh,
Ooh,
spicy.
Sounds amazing.
spicy.
This island state is quite absurd.
I don't think I've ever seen a game go like this before.
Yeah.
Not even close.
It's just always a matter of being like
knows?
one part away.
You,
Card is
So,
fine, but
if
cost
you're
of
reading-
activation should be higher or
if
require
you're trying to
tap.
read a card, you can just press Alt to look like it'll highlight the card for you instead of you having to turn it around.
Yeah, we've been talking about Isla IB and how we want to change her. So we're gonna start by making her monocolor. So I think she's gonna be mono green, only produce green still, and then her ability will cost blue green, solid, and then it won't be able to be used from the Soul Row, just the island. So it may require it to cost 3 eventually or something like that.
I'll abolish her.
But for now, it's fine. Because once she's gone, she's gone. She's been abolished now. There's no more of her available. So. Oh, Killswitch, when you're, did you have an opinion on the 3 versus 4 rule for deck building?
No, I did not, but 3 sounds better, possibly.
Everyone thinks it's better.
Probably
rule are we
not
talking
epic,
about?
but we'll see.
No, because Epic has certain cards he loves, and he wants to play 4 of them, damn it.
Yeah.
So,
I
Do you
would
know
just
that-
put in a post in the general chat that just is a poll, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
that uses reactions as votes.
Yeah. Let's
That
give
way
it
we
let's
have
give it a couple
documented
days.
version.
Let's build it up a little more. Get
So
the
what's-
few more people that are going to play to play.
so what's the rule?
Currently, it's 4 cards. You're limited to 4 of each name card in your deck, and we're
Okay.
considering dropping it to 3 because the number of total cards in your deck is reduced from Magic pretty significantly. Mathematically, 3 actually lines you up almost perfectly with Magic.
Well, not really, because so in Magic, let's just say you're playing 36 cards and you're playing 4-ofs. So that means you only actually pick 9 cards if you're playing 4-ofs. Whereas currently, with 50 cards, you play 12 sets of 4-of and
Yep.
2 extra cards.
Yeah, I guess you can't
And then
compare
if you go
directly because of
down with
lands.
3, if you go 3-ofs instead, then that means that you're actually gonna have what is that? I'm floundering on my math right now, but
But what about lands?
well, lands. Okay, let's be honest. Lands are just filler.
Yeah, but don't they have to be considered?
Do they?
Well,
Well,
because
Besides, like Mystic Sanctuary.
well, they do have to be considered because the frequency that you're drawing your cards is affected by those filler cards. So
Correct.
if we're just talking the amount of times you're going to draw that card a game,
Also, the 4-ofs, you have to take into account that you're removing 6 cards out of your deck from the beginning for your 11-year cards.
true.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wait. So does that skew towards or away from 3?
I think
doesn't.
it makes 4 times a card like even more absurd.
Yeah, because
Oh.
like my Tribulation Astrid starts are way less consistent with the reduction to 3 because there's way less chance that I get the Astrid in the 11-year row to begin with.
Oh man.
It's feeling like it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
I like the 3 idea.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, you still get to put what 16-ish unique cards in your deck.
Yeah.
So I mean that still feels pretty nice.
And you can even go more than that if you want to. All right. Okay. This is it. I have the high ground.
Yes, I agree. Tap, assuming they're summoning sickness means she has to wait. See, the problem with that IB is that she actually does have the eager ability, which is the magic equivalent of haste. So you would be able to use that tapped ability right away.
No, it's 50.
I think the only way to nerf it is honestly to make it cost more, but we're not ready to do that yet. Yeah, max deck size is 50.
So
It's actually not in the rulebook. It says 50 or more.
Yeah.
But competitive decks will be 50.
Yeah. Without.
I just want to
exception.
give the weird guy that wants to show up with a 100 card deck the opportunity to do that, you know?
I'm gonna play Midnight Meander.
Yep.
All right, I'll get back this Wolfric. Past that, or using the short time ability.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I'm going to also play Corpse Heist. I will get my Ravana from my Limbo.
Did we not nerf Corpse Heist a little bit? I'll check.
I think it's in a good state.
It
right
seems
now.
pretty good, right? Like a pretty decent.
It's I don't know. I think it's fair. It costs
Yeah.
3, gets you a 5 back. If you're on short time, it only gives you a 3 back if you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, seems solid.
All right. Then, so this Wolfric and this Ravana have entered play this turn. So I'm going to attack with the Fleurs, the Lycans, the Wolfric, and the Juno. So that's 4 sidesteps, unless you have a means of stopping it.
Well, one sidestep. I can cast this. If this doesn't deal with something, it does not. It's yours.
Cool.
Damn.
So you had
That
4
was-
cards left.
That was
The world
something
record
else.
so
Yeah,
far. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't
We were
know.
on that grind set.
I think
Wait,
problem.
you have a card of mine. You have one of my Zillias. Wait,
Well, then you have something of mine because I.
no,
didn't-
you have this card over here that you didn't take into your deck.
What are you saying, Killswitch? You got a feeling about a card you don't like? Or
No,
that you feel
card.
is.
Just the short on time coupled with. Where the hell's the Zilla? What the hell? I'm missing Zilla. Oh, here it is. But there's so many short on time effects that it always feels bad to tack into your opponent. Like I was like barely ahead in the very beginning, but I don't want to attack because I'm constantly giving him short on time. And there's all these short on time effects in the game that are super powerful. And then when we do get down, not only does he have all of these short on time effects enabled, but he's also getting to draw 2 more cards out of his deck. Or an extra card. And I think it's just too much for being down. Like, I understand that you want some like comeback mechanics, but I think there's too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's short on time effects or as much as it is drawing 2 more cards. Because not only does he like have all these short on time effects enabled, but he also gets more resources out of his deck.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think the major problem is it always feels bad to just attack my opponent, because not only is every card castable from 11-year row, which also feels bad, which means if he gets like a really good 1-drop like Ela or Isla, it can come into play for free. And then that's technically an eager, right? Because I can't deal with it and it can attack on his turn.
Well, Ela's already eager.
But yeah, any 1-drop.
Right, but any 1-drop, I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was just in my mind, that name.
Yeah, Ela's ridiculous.
So any card I attack into, especially late game with a control deck, it might as well be a citizen that might as well have eager, right? If I can't counter it. And then yeah, so many short on time effects that are just so strong.
Yeah, we might be a little too skewed in the comeback department.
So I don't know.
I think just reducing how many short time effects there are, like just by a little bit, would help.
Yeah, even if I just cut like 1 from each faction or something.
We could just like trim them over
I
time.
don't know. I've never played a game where
Also,
you're pull cards at the end of the game.
Also, having the 3 ofs would make it so that there's less cards that you can't just stack your deck with short times. Probably can, but you have to go deeper into the card pool.
Well, the other side of it is if you stack just with short times, you still put yourself at a disadvantage, because the only way you really get to use those cards is if you're short on time.
Yeah, but that's not always. It's not that bad.
It's
Well,
like get the bonus effects though. Like you
And some of
still
them are
get
huge
the, like,
swings.
Yeah, but the minute you become unshort of time, you lose all those bonus effects anyway. So it's like you want to keep yourself short on time, but yet.
But like Ember Sword, like this is a really good pump. +6/+6, right? And then if I'm short on time, cool, I get to draw a card, but the +6/+6 is still really good.
Yeah.
What else is short on time, I guess?
So you're saying like there's cards that are shitty if you're not short on time, but like too good if you are. Like the swing is too big.
Like, I think the problem is like in this game, I think I was telling Q this, you want to be losing because the cards are so good. So like cards like, what is that one that you played in your one deck that's really good? Look at all your short on times, cast a 3 or less citizen.
Tribulation.
Yeah. That not only do you get a 3-drop possibly with that card, you also put yourself short on time, which enables all of those cards.
Tribulation, so good.
And then
Love that card.
again, just paired with every card is casting from that row is really strong.
Yeah. So the solution would be to either reduce the amount of cards that give you short on time buffs, maybe eliminate the drawing 2, go to draw 1, which we've already been talking about. Like since the beginning, we've talked about that rule.
Gotcha.
Because it's just so hard to tell. Because like there are a lot of games where it doesn't matter, where you draw 2 cards where it's like you're not going to get saved anyways. But then there's the one where you draw the sweeper, or the one where you draw that exact removal you needed, or there are some games that
grind out a game because you had enough resources, like I just did.
Yeah.
Like Rash Judgment, I think that I know that we fixed or attempting to fix it currently, but I feel like maybe can be cast from your soul row if you're short on time, but abolish it after would be better. It wouldn't be as crazy.
Yeah, but you'd have to change Dagon's ability.
But it's not Dagon's ability that's the problem. It's this card, when you're short on time, it always goes back.
Mm-hmm.
Dagon
That's
is cool and flavorful. this card just cycles insanely.
Yeah, but you could fix it by just saying when Dagon casts a spell card from the soul row, abolish it.
But we don't want to do that because Dagon is. I feel like Dagon's fine. It's this card that's the problem, not Dagon. So why don't we fix this card, not Dagon?
So it would say if you are on short time, Rash Judgment enters your soul row, or we change it to you may cast Rash Judgment from your soul row, abolish it when it resolves, or keep it the way it is and add abolish it when it resolves.
I think so, because I don't think that we're not like aiming to change Dagon. We want to change.
No,
Rash
no.
Judgment as a card.
Yeah, but then that buffs Rash Judgment, kinda.
Why?
Because it lets you Dagon it without Dagon.
Or no, what if we just do keep it the same as it is and add abolish it when it resolves?
Well, yeah, you'd have to say if this was cast from your soul row, abolish it. And...
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's fair.
You maybe if it doesn't require an enabler like Dagon, I actually didn't think of that. Maybe it needs to be like increased cost by like 1, possibly, because that is
Like
really good also. But
Like you can cast it from your soul row, or no.
if short on time, abolish it after. But because it no longer requires Branwyn or Dagon to do that, you might want to compensate by increasing the cost.
And it would spread out the counterspell costs.
Yeah, because we already have that one at 3. So if Rash Judgment literally just went to 4.
Yeah, but you could cast it from your soul row without Branwyn or Dagon, but then it abolishes itself.
Okay, so you do lose that synergy.
But it just is affecting Rash Judgment.
Yeah, so it would be cost 4, may cast from soul, abolish when resolve. I like that. Because I know, like, in Magic, a 4-mana counterspell better do some shit. Because there's so many options at 2 and 3. So I think having it be 4 soul cost, but letting you play from your soul row is, like, pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
But kind of a bummer that it loses that with Dagon, but
Like,
the loop is pretty easily abused, I feel.
yeah.
And it feels kind of boring because it's like, okay, so every turn you're going to counter something forever. That kind of plays into what you're saying with being on short time, where like that player wants to be on short time.
And that's only if you only have one of those in your soul pile at the time.
Yeah. I feel like it's okay that each 11-year card can be played somehow or cycled somehow, just because both players have that opportunity. But I may agree with you that it's a little too far skewed to the loser. I mean,
Also,
you guys
I
played.
don't necessarily think that it's a problem that every card can do that. It's paired with like short time as well, right?
Yep.
Like, imagine what is like a really good citizen that has also a short on time effect? Is there one?
Flanagan.
What about a boss monster?
Boss monster with a short on time effect? Jaturna.
Yeah, AB. I know what you're saying.
Like, imagine, okay, Jaturna, is she a mystic?
Yeah.
Just pull her out so the stream can see. Like, okay, so if you're short on time, they must also return 2 citizen cards they control on their turn. Or on their hand. So, like, just imagine attacking into this, right? And then, well, you can't play it from your soul row, thankfully.
No.
But if there was a similar card, not necessarily as powerful as this, but like just imagine attacking into it, and then your opponent plays it, and now because I put you down, it's like I'm getting punished for winning, which also doesn't feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get punished for winning, which doesn't feel good, but I don't know. I think there's a
Fighting games also have this issue with like the rage arts and Tekken and all that kind of stuff.
right.
I think we're probably. I'm personally leaning towards getting rid of the draw 2 thing.
Yeah.
You mean
that's
in
feeling-
in that last Well,
Also,
the 11th
people
hour.
forget all the time,
Yeah.
and yeah,
And it's a new weird thing that no game does, so it's very easy to forget, and then it creates issues. And like you were saying, being on short time, you're already ahead in card power. So, all in favor?
I
Aye.
I am gonna have to change the code in the tabletop simulator.
Yeah.
But
oh
I
yeah,
also
I
need to
forgot
get
you were
off-
working on that.
Well, it literally I just delete the line that says draw 2 when you don't.
Yeah,
have.
but how much work you put into that last night just to try to figure
I
it out?
mean, the 11-year row thing was honestly the easiest part of last night, because the problem was the reason why I was having an issue over and over is because I didn't define my variables correctly, so it kept drawing cards from the human deck because I didn't define the scripting zone to.
You're like, what the hell?
I was like, how are you drawing from the other deck? That makes no sense. And then I realized what I was doing. So
Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
another one. I don't know if you saw the notes on Discord or not, but Fatal Poke and what was the other one?
Harsh Judgment or something like that, or Harsh something.
The one that are like the same card, but it's 3 or more, 3 or less.
Yeah. and
Yeah,
then-
4 or more,
Capital
3 or
Punishment.
less. Fatal Poke only cost 1 colorless and 1 soul of either white or black. The other costs 2.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Capital Punishment, and it costs
Yeah.
2 either white or black. I think it should be reversed. I don't think the amount of souls that are needed
I think you should go a step
needs
further.
to change. It should just reverse it. It should be Fatal Poke should be like a white black, or your choice of white or black, and then Capital Punishment is just a colorless or a neutral and a colored soul.
I think Fatal Poke should honestly be a black and a white.
That's
Not
what I
a-
believe. A black,
yeah.
white, a black and a white, and that's it. And then Capital Punishment, either just leave it the way it is, or
Yeah, I think because Capital Punishment is like just kind of weaker naturally.
yeah. And I think it's a little bit harder to cast that than it is to cast Fatal Poke, just because of the fact that all you need is one black and white, a black soul or white producing soul card out there, and any other soul color. Period.
So we'll do black and white.
Well, it's been fun, but I gotta get up in 6 hours, so I'll see you guys later.
All right, my friend.
Later.
We'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, it was fun. See ya.
Later, dude. So yeah, Fatal Poke, 1 black, 1 white feels nice. Feels good.
Yes.
Because that can take out some baddies, and we've been seeing there's a lot of good 3 drops, but the 4, 5, and 6 drops kind of rule the game,
Yes.
especially later.
So if you leave Capital Punishment the way it is, or change it, one of them to a neutral, I think would be still pretty even with that. But it's up
Yep.
to you.
No, we're good to go. I already did it. I
Alright.
like the not drawing 2 kill switch. I think you're totally right. Because I don't want players to feel like they're getting punished for winning.
I mean,
But-
I totally understand comeback mechanics, right?
Yes.
But like I said, I think there's just so much. I feel punished for winning.
Yeah, which
Like-
sucks.
In early game, I felt like I could have gone in, but again, like I think I was telling Q, in Duel Master / Kaijudo, the comeback mechanic is I'm already giving my opponent the resources out of the 11-year card row, right?
Hmm. They're drawing a card.
You know, like I always have to worry about 6 or 7 cards that might have a shield blast in that game, and if I attack into it, right, and I hit that one, like this card destroys a blocker, and then I only have the one blocker, I lose, right? So I'm already punished for attacking them. My opponent is rewarded, but now you've added X amount of short on time. I get close to winning. Now they're drawing 2 cards, 2, right? Plus the card they drew out of their 11-year card, so they get up instant +3.
Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah. 2 is too many for, like, it should just be 1 across the board. Drawing 2 in your last one. That was just leaning too much into that comeback mechanic mindset. But in Duel Masters 2, though, aren't the what do you call them when they can do shit when you break them?
Field blast.
Aren't they like huge swings that cost nothing?
Not really.
No? Do you have to pay for them, or?
they cost nothing, but all the shield blasts is like, I think, like that one, the light civilization has that 6 cost shield blast, tap all creatures on your opponent's side of the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
7 cost shield blast, destroy 1 creature. 7 in green, 7 cost shield blast, put 1 creature into the mana's end. 2 cost shield blast, return target 4 cost or lower to your opponent's hand. So they're not like massive board wipes. The one main board wipe that I saw or mostly played was a 3 cost shield blast, destroy all units or creatures that were 2 or lower. So they weren't like massive swings, but if you weren't prepared for them, they would win the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I feel like I like the way it is, but drawing that extra card was a little silly, and then we might be going a little too hard on some of the short time effects, or at least the frequency at which we're seeing them. And I wanted to add some faction specific abilities that were like on human cards, give you human buffs type shit. So maybe I'll swap out some short time cards for some more tribal cards.
I don't know how to say your name in tabletop. I apologize, but I don't think there are any specific cards that do anything off of being played from 11-year road. No.
As far as, what do you mean?
He's asking is there any cards that do anything from specifically being played as an 11-year cost? So like if this card was cast as the 11-year cost, do X, Y, or Z.
I don't think so, right? No, I don't think so. Time swap some for tribal abilities.
So to my understanding, you like looked at blue and white, kind of like the unit-based buffing, like the magic white soldiers kind of, or white kind of stuff. I'm assuming, is that what you were leaning towards?
Yeah, like they have buff, and then they have like pseudo removal, like trivialize and bounce, and clapped in irons. So it's like pseudo, not straight up strict removal all the time. And then like black white ascendant has like destruction, 11-year, some like 11-year interaction. Mystic is more control, like some bounce, some counter, sweepers, and then undead is obviously a ton of limbo interaction.
Gotcha.
And those are pretty consistent across the cards. I think we're doing the right thing with the spells, where now we're doing it where a card like Fatal Poke, we're making that much harder for certain decks to play by making it 1 white, 1 black. And now that we've got everything evenly divided in colors, we can do that on a per card basis and keep it nice. Because before it was just everyone had access to everything. Like a week ago, this game was totally jacked on deck building. And I feel like we've come a long way in that department. I think doing the 3 of thing is the move too. But we will have to see. I will pull it for sure.
Is that an effective immediately rule?
Huh?
Is that like a effective immediately rule? 3 of?
I was gonna put it to a vote, but I'm feeling like everyone that was here this evening, and like just mathematically and gut feeling, it feels really good. Like it feels right. I feel like we're closer to 3 than 4, so we should just go with 3. So you guys can try both and see how it feels. Like when you're building your decks, build a deck with the 3 of rule, build a deck with the 4 of rule.
Actually, the deck I just built is a 3 card deck. Nothing more than 3.
Nice.
So.
And you guys can see how it feels. Feel it out. See if it's like a bummer that you can't include 4 of like your favorite cards. But also, I guess, understand that we really don't, like how he was saying he gets to combo with Tribulation at the beginning of each game because the likelihood of him drawing it is so high. I think that 3 is just better. I think it just makes more sense.
Right.
What do you think?
I'm trying to think like if the concern I have is like let's say you're playing, I don't know, what is it, like two counter cards at maximum quantity, right? Or not
Mhm.
counter, but like destroy cards.
Okay.
What's an example? What counters? Rash Judgment, right? So you have Rash Judgment, and you have Halt. Where's Halt? Oh, I can't wait till he names these, so I can just like put all the cards in one stack and just type the name.
Yeah.
Halt is a counter card, right? Yes.
Yes.
Rash Judgment is a counter card. Is there any other counter cards?
Yes. There's
You have
the 3-drop studies.
Studies, right?
It's something studies.
I think if you,
Yeah.
I think you can sit now. There should be a spot to sit, and you can search your other cards as well. It's too bad that only the 2 people sitting can do that. Oh, and then you have that Mystic card that also counters. That is also attached to a body.
There's also a human card that does it too, right?
Is there really?
Pretty sure. How do I make it to where I can?
Up in the top right, you can click your name, and
Okay.
then each color.
All right. So, let me search the deck real quick. I'm pretty sure there was.
Let's see.
It's somewhere. If it's not a human, there is one more I know that can do it.
You're not talking about the Dithy, are you?
Here you go. Counter target spell card.
Okay, so arrows, yeah, spell. Okay. So let's see. This is citizen card, spell or citizen, citizen. Okay, so what is the one that just says citizen? Spell or citizen?
Fuck. I'll grab it. It's the detective looking one. Yeah, dead on arrival.
This is right, that's right.
Yes.
And those are actually really good too because they cycle when they die as 11-year cards. So that makes counters like, I feel like, just a little better anyways.
Okay, so currently these 2 cards here, Dead on Arrival and Sanctioned Studies, fit in the same color deck, right? Blue-green. That's 8. Now let's say you're, I don't know.
We were talking about making Sanctioned Studies blue colorless and making Rash Judgment all green. I know that's one of the notes I have down that we were considering.
There is still one concern about that. 1 second, though. The thing I was concerned about is that, sure, you can play these 8 cards, but as soon as you cut these, right, you just, like, put in this or this, and you've just still got the same amount of counters.
Sure.
Sure, it's in a different way. But I guess it doesn't really cut down, like, how well you can counter, or maybe not necessarily this. You just maybe you don't play these, right? But you just add 3 to these. Sure, instead of doing spells, but you still have, like you said, the citizens are so powerful that there's no incentive to play spells entirely, right? Or not entirely, but less incentive to play them. So effectively, this is the same as just 2 more of these, right? Or the same. It's like the same.
Yeah, but that, I get where you're going with that, but like my counter to that would be, first of all, we're just talking about counters. We're not looking at the game globally or future sets and cards that could be abused in higher quantities. And the same thing could be said about literally any card game. You could say, well, if you're only able to play 3 counter spells, just throw a negate in there. Well, no, it's not really the same card. It has a similar effect, and it's in the category of counter spell, but it is a different card. And it also affects citizens, which there are some citizens that when you see consistently, turn after turn after turn, Zilla, it gets to the point, or Isla, where it's like, fuck, how many of these cards, like how many times am I going to see this card? Like like a ridiculous amount of times. Because like guaranteed they're going to be able to access it at least 2-3 times in a game. Like if you only go through, say, 25 cards in the game, it's half, you're on average going to get that card twice. But instead, if you have 3, you'll on average get it 1.5. So one game you'll get it 1, one game you'll get it 2, one game you'll get it 1 on average. So it like pretty massively changes the frequency that you're going to see those cards and have those like samey feeling games.
Right. Okay.
That's how I'm looking at it. But I do see what you're saying with the fact that you're just kind of, you're able just to shuffle it around a little bit in some cases. And
So I think like changing the 3 ofs, like by just doing this, I still think that it's possible that you just have the same amount of cards.
mm-hmm.
I think that could be, I mean, it can be countered by, like you say, you can change the soul
This one too.
production.
Another thing.
3
Go ahead.
count. See, I don't
Luke, I
mind.
thought I thought you were going to bed. What the hell? Yeah, because this
No.
one's so restrictive.
Wait, Q's on the
He's on YouTube, yeah.
Oh. So another thing I noticed, and I don't know if you want to make this change. Halt costs 2 colors,
Mhm.
blue green, or Dead on Arrival costs a colorless blue green. And Dead on Arrival counters a target citizen any amount or period.
It's just strictly worse.
Halt only counters 4 or less
Yeah.
unless you're short on time. Maybe you want to reverse that around too.
Yeah. I guess the only difference would be that they're common and uncommon. But yeah, having 2 cards at the same cost that do the same thing, but one's just shitty, is not good.
Yeah, so I would say, honestly, your biggest bet is to just switch it around, make Halt the 1 and colored soul, and then just make Dead on Arrival the 2 green, 2 blue.
Yeah.
Or do what you just did with do what you just did
Capital
for
Punishment and Fatal Poke.
make
Yep.
Dead on Arrival a solid blue, solid green, and then just make Halt the way it is.
Yeah.
Your choice.
Because how it is currently is jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say the other thing too, like we don't have to have as many counter cards, and again, maybe I guess it depends, right? Like if you want to define the colors a little more, like you were saying, these are all blue green, right?
Mm-hmm.
If blue green is meant to do that, okay, that's fine. But obviously blue also interacts with the skull row, and I guess so does white with Dagon, which I guess I guess I'm kind of curious what the colors you wanted to do, or you want the colors to do specifically.
So it's, I guess the color identity is for certain spells and abilities is a little bit looser than in Magic, I would say. Whereas Magic is very strict with the colors, and when they go outside of it, it's like a, whoa, did you see what this thing does? I would say that the initial idea and the division of the actual types of abilities was color specific, and I allowed for the friendly faction's main color to have access to those abilities, but on a limited basis. So like blue and green is like a soul row counter interaction type of card, and humans who are mainly, their main color is white, I would sometimes allow the color white to have access to that same ability, but not at the same frequency. But we've made a lot of changes, you know, and stuff does get mixed up. So it could be that it's a little bit out of whack now, but there's at least like that core idea. I think that with the spell card specifically, oh, Ant's trying to talk to us. I think with the spell card specifically, the solution, like for these counters, them all being so samey and like everything's exactly the same, is keeping some of them the mixed color, and then having some of them be solid blue or solid green, so that you're not just able to run as many as you want in each deck, no matter what. And you could literally run these in anything, but I mean, you could run them in any deck, really, the way they're set up right now. Like, the colors aren't restrictive enough. So, like, even if you're going to, say, play a mainly Ascendant deck with a splash of Mystic, and you want to have that, like, or of a human, and you want to have, like, the Esper colors, like black, blue, white, you really could just treat these as mono blue. So if we make, say, Dead on Arrival 1 green and 1 colorless, it would be excluded from that deck. You would not have access to that card as easily for that deck. So kind of, but then
case,
I'm thinking we're making spells worse, so players will play them even less. That's my fear.
well, I'll tell you right now, case in being, the deck I just built, I think I went a white black majority with a green, and then I actually, for one card that I really wanted to use, had a little bit of blue in it, and it's just like a splash of mystic, but it was the spell card.
Mm-hmm.
But because the spell card is a mystic, and ascendance is white, correct?
Ascendance is mainly blacks with secondary white, but we were talking about that earlier too. The colors are typically pretty well mixed in the factions, but there are more mono white cards than mono black cards than mono white cards in the Ascendant lineup. So like, it's pretty well interchangeable, especially when you're talking about dual color cards that provide black and white, to where Ascendants really could either be white or black pretty much evenly. But I would say that in general, like, the main color isn't as important. Like, it's not like it's the vast majority are black with a little bit of white. It's like pretty evenly mixed black and white.
So like, upon like looking at it, 75% of your factions, so all but Ascendant, can play all of these counters.
Mm-hmm.
Human has quite a bit of blue in it, which not only do these spells produce their mana for themselves already, all of the human cards can play these, all of the mystic cards can play these, and all of the undead cards can play this.
Mm-hmm.
Ascendants cannot really, and I really think that maybe being this so splashable between all of these, like, I think that you could just remove one almost entirely and just change the effect and maybe give it something more towards what Ascendants do.
Yeah, well,
Possibly.
I see what you're saying, and I like it, because if we, like we were saying, if we make them too hard to cast or too niche for certain decks, that just won't get played. And like, I don't want spell cards to be like the joke of the game, where it's like, yeah, no one plays spell cards, what the fuck. I want them to be an important part of the game. So I think you're right. As far as the split goes, though, I broke it down today, and the amount of cards in each faction, like the amount of spell cards that have faction specific or like the faction typed abilities, there's what, 39 spell cards. There's 10 of each, besides undead has 9, because it can't be perfect, but there's 10 human, 10 ascendant, 10 mystic, and 9 undead ability type spell cards. So they're evenly distributed now, but I think that one thing you could do is change one of these counters into a different type of mystic ability. Because like I told you, like, the reason why there's this exact amount of counter spell cards is based on magic math. Is based on the average of counter spells in magic sets, like proportion to the total number of cards in that set for like the last 10 magic sets. So it's at least close, but I could definitely see cutting one. Because even in draft, counter spells can usually feel like, ugh, I don't want that. I think Halt, unfortunately, for itself, is probably the number one card on the chopping block here. But
I agree, but you can always, like Hill said, you can always just change the complete wording of Halt. Just make it something that is worth, change the colors, change everything, and make it something that maybe is more in line with the humans, or in line with Ascendants, or something that you're not letting go of the card, you're just making it more something that is towards a different faction.
Well, I don't want to change the faction identity of it, because those are already like even mathematically. I would want to do a different mystic type ability.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, no, I agreed.
What up, Arts?
Not sure yet. I would have to play. I mean, I play a lot of Mystic. You know that. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite.
What do you
decks.
think, Kill Switch? I know you're trying to get a word in.
It's okay. It's all good. I think, like, what I'm thinking is that, like, Mystics already have a lot of their stuff already, right? Like, they not only do they play from the Soul Row, but Mystics are the kind of class that would counter things, right? I don't think it's Mystic that you necessarily want to change. Because Mystic, when you think Mystics, you do think that they're the ones countering spells with like spell barriers, stuff like that, depending on what you're going for in theme, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking is that you have these undead cards that very clearly want to play with, like you have Lycan, and he wants to like ramp, and I think that why not change some of these counters to something like move one of your citizens to the soul row and then like destroy a card or something like that, something that helps like more undead. And I don't know, like you wanted ascendants to be big buffy dudes, right? Like really
Mm-hmm.
big bodies, which I guess like obviously you have cards that represent that by like is it muster? No, not muster. The card that gives everything 7/7 and something ravenous or
Blitz.
That's actually a human ability.
That's Blitz.
oh okay yeah that is human. What is
Discard, removal, those types of things are definitely more ascendant type abilities. Banishing.
also you have a card or a citizen that has the effect cannot attack, right?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna change those though. It
Oh.
will. It can only attack if X type shit.
Yes.
The colorless cards are gonna get reworked because the colors cards are essentially non-existent right now.
I thought I just
And-
read a card that said cannot attack.
Cannot attack alone.
No,
No, there's a card out there I know that says you cannot attack unless you control 3 of this type of citizen. I know there are some that says cannot attack unless you are.
There's one that says cannot block.
Yes, I know that one too.
That might be the one you're thinking of. It's a colorless. I believe that's one of the colors humans, right?
I know one of them is.
Yeah. Here's
colorless
Ophelia. Cannot
undead.
attack alone.
Well, there's one that's a colorless undead, but that's not anything to do with the can't attack alone.
Yeah, I think the colorless cards in general just need a rework. They've been kind of put on the back burner. And my original intent with them was to keep them versatile for drafting purposes. But if people want to go full in like human faction tribal, there's plenty of cards. They just don't need them. So I'm thinking they'd almost be better. Probably also we need more playtesters. Yes, Luke, facts. I think that it's honestly better to keep the colorless as like beaters, like where they have slightly buffed stats with no ability text than hamper them like we are right now, because they all have downside right now.
Well, I could tell you, you can play with that whole colorless or colorless citizens or spells, but I think it would be something that you would have to include with the next block altogether. I mean, we did mention it, I think, in the Discord itself, where if you were to do something that would work with the abolishment pile more, something that would really help buff these colorless in the sense of you abolish these cards and it would help these cards. Okay, this target citizen gets +1/+1 for every colorless colorless citizen in your abolish pile, so you would get +1/+1 for that. Something that would work with the abolishment pile, so that you
Yeah,
have not entered
that's-
yet, but that's something that could be worked with this second block.
Yeah.
So you don't want to overly get rid of them or anything. You just have to work with what we got at this point.
I think I am thinking the one that can't block, because I was just gonna say if you'd had one that can't attack, are you like just opposed to having a card to block your keyword?
Yeah, exactly, right? Luke says Konzu. It's Konzu. So what about making that blue-green card that we're talking about, Halt, either like a bounce spell or like you're saying, like a Soul Roll or Limbo or both undead vibe type card? And we could just take one spell from the Mystics and have Mystics be the faction that has 9 spell cards. Because I think other than that, the counters are actually pretty sweet. Like, they're pretty well balanced, but Halt just sucks. It's
I
boring.
agree with that.
And it's just, like, Dead on Arrival is just better. There's just no way to get around that. But you could do halt as like a bounce, or you could do halt as like a, like you were saying, interact with a card on the field somehow, where you're like,
Are you gonna keep it low cost like that?
yeah, it's got to be pretty close because that's
Why-
also spread evenly through the spell cards.
Why not take target card out of limbo and put it into your soul road to maybe buff your soul road?
Doesn't that
Doesn't come
effect
ba-
exist?
I don't know if it does or not.
I don't think that's a spell people would be too interested in playing because there's so many ways to already do that. So like wasting a card on doing it, I don't think would be a thing. I think this card has to have a more interesting ability. Like you perhaps put one of your citizens in your soul row from the island, but you get the benefit of bouncing one of theirs or something like that. Like you play this card, bounce one of theirs, put one of yours in the soul row, or whatever. I mean, that's just an example, but like that effect would be desirable. You'd like that. You'd lose a blocker, but they do too. You're basically trading a card to put in your soul row. So at that point, it's kind of like bounce / ramp.
That would work.
You're talking about Konzu? Yeah, Konzu can't attack unless you control her humans. That's the one Luke's talking about.
No, there's also one I think that's also undead. That unless you control
Yeah, it's the Ravenous 4 or 5 drop.
yeah.
It is this guy.
Correct. Unless you control 3 or more. Yep, that one.
But yeah, and that's the thing too, is like no one's playing that card either because that's just too much of a stipulation, I think. But he's also an uncommon, but his stats are really low for a 4 drop. Like 8/9 is
Yeah, I don't.
Well, if
Nolan
you
just
allow me
sucks.
to play my deck, I can tell you he is in there just because I wanted to try something totally out of the realm that I normally play.
Yeah, I think I reduced his attack and defense according to what I usually reduce Ravenous spells by, like as like a general number, and it doesn't really make sense with this card because he's limited on when he can attack, so he should have the full attack and defense of an uncommon 4 drop, which he does
would
not.
be
I got it right here. 1 second. So I gotta get better organized on this shit. I used to be all about it when I was accessing it every day. Where did I put that shit? Oh, here it is right here. So a 4 total soul cost uncommon on average should have a total of 19. So it'd be like so he's not too nerfed because his total's 17, but he's down 2, so he should be like a 9/10. But he got nerfed because of the Ravenous ability. Like this was all done like mathematically according to other game averages over time. So like some of it could have changed, but as far as that goes, yeah. So like I have a chart for steadfast ability penalty, which is minimal, eager ability penalty, toxic, ravenous, etc. The ravenous and sidestep are the highest because they're the most impactful.
I got a
And then
question.
like, what's up?
Oh, no, go ahead. No, please, by all means.
No, I was just saying like it depends on the rarity. So like void rares don't take penalties for those, and then rares take minimal, commons, uncommons take more and more.
Gotcha.
Oh, here you go.
Is Fortuity getting changed?
Yeah, we were talking about just making it cost 3, I think. But no one plays it anyways. Someone was like, oh, how can you draw 2 for 2? I'm like, but no one plays it.
No one plays it because everything else is just so much better than it.
So, should we make it better?
No, I think you need to take down everything else. It's just absurd.
Yeah.
Counter, 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 counter. Let me search my deck for counters and my boss monster. Counter, counter, counter. Probe 3. And whatnot.
Yeah, like literally, I haven't seen anybody play Fortuity, which is crazy because it's nice. Like I feel like in Q's deck that he was just playing, this card would slot nice.
Like I don't know. I'm just comparing it to what is Magic? Magic is a 3-mana 2-draw, right?
Like a divination, like straight up 3 mana, draw 2.
Right, and Dual Masters has logo scan, 3 mana, draw 2. Hearthstone, 3 mana, draw 2. And
So-
I guess in terms of this game's power level, 2 mana, draw 2. And if you're losing, by the way, probe 1 and draw 2. But I guess I don't know. Maybe it's not that bad. It sounds absurd, but again, maybe it's because there's so many other spells that are being played that are really good.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that's what it is. And obviously the power level is going to be relative to the rest of the cards in the game. So maybe as we get more playtesters in here, we find that kid that's like, how come none of you guys are running Fortuity? And we're like, oh. And like he plays it and like blows us out with card advantage. But I'm not seeing it right now, but I feel like, you know, we got to fuck with it a little bit. Because right now it seems fine.
Anybody want to give my deck a shot or no?
I'm about to eat and go to sleep probably, but it's 9:30. I gotta wake up at 5:30. Gotta eat. Do my shit. But like also for Fortuity, I do want to put that staff over that text box, like a 3D looking effect. You know what I mean? Or not the text box, but the top bar.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
I try to do that as much as possible.
I really feel like there needs to be more unique spells that interact with the citizens on the board.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like they need to become very much in color identity or soul identity. Not like minimal to where it's just another one of those cards that are from, you know, another counter, or very like kind of this soul and kind of that soul. And I also feel like this game is missing some ramp effects.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the dangerous factor of ramp effects is 4 drops, 5 drops are so powerful you get there quickly, you'd have to tune those cards.
Also, something to think about is that a lot of this, I feel like, is kind of a perspective issue because we're talking about a game that only has one set. So, like I was saying with like ramp effects, those numbers and the amount of ramp effects in these 151 is based on the average that ramp effects show up in other games. So, over the course of multiple sets, you'll get more of those ramp effects, but it's just one set and there's only 151 slots to work with. So I would say, like, say swapping a counterspell out for a unique, fun ramp effect, yeah, that's pretty chill. But as far as, like, lacking ramp effects, when you guys are running those Lycans and the cards, also keep in mind cards that are added to your Soul Row when they die, like Flanagan and stuff, that is like a pseudo ramp effect. There's actually a lot of ways to buff up your Soul Row, and that's just in one set. So, like, in Magic, you always have access to minimum 4 sets for Standard. So, you have all the fucking ramp effects you could ever want. But it being a brand new game, it's just like, we can only have so many of each effect. But I do agree that the spells are, I think, boring. It's fair to say, like, just having a shitload of counter spells is boring. So I think, like, we're saying, like, halt, doing something like, you gotta move one of your citizens to the Soul Row. So it's kind of ramp. Kind of gives you that advantage, and then you also get to bounce one of theirs. That's kind of interesting, and it feels like a Mystic type ability. You have some Soul Row interaction, you have some bounce, and it's a lot more interesting than counter target citizen, you know?
I agree. I mean, you don't want to counterbalance the whole game by trying to put ramps in there and everything, because like you said, if you start ramping up, you start being able to get those 5 drops, 6 drops out faster than you really need to, but you also should have some type of ramp. It's definitely something that should be incorporated in like the next booster or the third booster down the road, like the third block down the road. It's something that can't be overproduced at this point in time. It's not enough cards to be able to do that, because then even down the blocks you can even increase the amount of souls and costs for cards down the road to be able to withstand that that ramp effect as well.
Yeah.
it takes more to get that. Instead of a 6-drop, you now have a 10-drop, but those ramps can really help out getting that 10-drop out.
I do agree with you, Kill Switch, on the 2 main points you have tonight, though. Like, there's not good color and faction identity. Like, it feels a little sloppy. We need to tighten it up.
Right.
And the come behind mechanics are too strong. It just getting punished for winning is harsh. Like, it's too far skewed.
Like, I know Q, Luke, I don't know what he wants us to call him.
I just call him Q.
Q is saying on YouTube that, like, well, hold on a second. Did you not just see the match we played? There was his soul rose full, but like that was off of 1 card that got recurred. And if you adding ramp cards, not only helps define a color or a soul a little more, but you tune down to where like it's not going to happen, so that way you can develop more cards to give that soul a more fleshed out feeling. Just because it happened with 1 card that got recurred isn't really like a theme, right? It was just a tech, and it happened. And I do agree, like, it happened, sure, but you tune it down, develop more cards around the theme, and it gets fleshed out, I feel like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying like develop a faction that's really good at by putting something, or when you want to remove something, you have the downside or of putting it in their mana or our soul or something like that. I just feel like if you want a faction to not be good at removing something, it has to do it in a different way, right? Like green, you want to remove something, well, the way it gets removed is it goes to their soul row instead, right? 5 mana, put target citizen in the soul row. Like, great, I can remove it as like an undead card, but it has to go in that way.
Yeah.
It's a free get it out of here kind of deal. If
So-
black can get rid of something, just straight up, right?
Yeah. But I feel like having the cards the way they are right now, trying to figure out a way to explain this. Those factions already have access to straight removal. Like, it doesn't need to be modified, and if you modify it and make it too niche and hard, they just won't play the cards. So if you're going to limit it to, say, certain abilities are like only solid blue and white, if it's like a human type ability, which is the only way you could prevent the other factions from playing it freely, it would make it not good enough. And like spell cards would be even less relevant, I feel. So like they're already so mixed and able to be played by other factions. And also, like, as a part of this game in the lore, I do want to push the factions working together, but I also do want to push enemy factions not working together. So like him, like earlier when he was playing Boudica, like abusing Boudica with Pluto, I was like, ugh, like I don't want that to be possible. I really don't. Like that doesn't feel right to me. You know what I mean? First of all, the cards like aesthetically look terrible sitting next to each other and totally out of whack. And you're using a powerful human ability to recur undead, which is their enemy. It doesn't feel right or good.
Correct.
So I feel like that's kind of a first step in fixing that. But like the spells, I think it's fine that they can all use them minus the enemy faction. So like obviously with Mystic, it's difficult for Ascendants, like a strict Ascendant deck, to play Mystic abilities or spells, I should say. I don't know. It's complex, dude. Like this shit is not simple. Like I feel like we all know a lot about games, but actual game design is difficult.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not easy. I think I really honestly feel like a lot of the problem also is just there's so much easy access to souls by what the cards produce or color, let's say. Like
the fixing's too good.
I honestly don't feel like the 1-drop issue is entirely fixed.
Yeah.
Entirely. I don't feel like it is like not Q has the Sky's Favor card, Ilas, and all that stuff. And like I consistently got him down to no 11-year card. I got him to the 11th hour for
Yeah.
every game. He just let me do it. But then he had the cards that stopped it, which if you don't have all those cards, I think, for example, Epic would be very upset. And I had no problem with Soul Color at all, playing all my 1-drops, both those games. And so I'm not sure that is entirely fixed. And I still included all of the Eagers. And then obviously, like I'm saying, as soon as someone just attacks the 11-year row and I play my 1-drops out for free, they all might as well just say Eager, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that is something obviously that we should look at, but still by playing and bring it to your attention. But
Yeah, for sure. And I also
go on.
I feel like with the mana fixing thing is like, okay, obviously a problem with that is that too many cards provide 2 colors. So that's obviously going to make your fixing like so much better. And there's a reason other games have those cards come into play tapped, because it's really powerful for a card to be able to produce 2 different colors. So one of the solutions we were talking about is, say in humans, the only cards that produce blue and white are cards that cost, well, besides Charlie, because she's like top end, whatever, are cards that cost a blue and white solid soul costs, right? So those cards provide 2 because they cost 2 different, so they're harder to cast, and to balance that, they provide 2. So we were talking about, what if we made the cards that are faction specific, like cards that say, if you attack with 3 or more humans, draw 1. We make cards like that, like Sven, the only blue and white cards that have solid colors in them, so that way the other decks wouldn't be interested in playing them anyways. So if you are going to want to grab citizens from other factions to put in your deck, they're only ever going to provide 1 color. So automatically across the board, that makes mana fixing a decent bit worse. So it makes mixing just a little bit harder. Because I agree, like in most games, it's not even a thought. You're like, I'm good. Like I got all the colors I need no matter what. And you definitely don't want that. You don't want to be screwed like in Magic, where it's like, damn, just because I didn't draw this 1 color and I should have mathematically drawn this color 3 times by now and I still don't have 1. I don't want it to be like that, but I do agree that it's a little too loose still. It needs to be tightened up.
What about, because every one of your void rares and your main characters, Charlie, Dukraka, Juturna, as well as Wolfric, how about taking those and turning those into its only whatever its faction is? So Juturna,
Yeah,
is Mystic.
like
It
it's
is straight
like it's
blue.
cast cost.
You cannot cast a green out of it or anything. It is straight blue, same as all the rest of them. And then your top tier cards, which is let's just go with your human, Triberus, Eileen, Saline. I mean, you both have Eileen and Saline. They only produce blue or white. Same as Turbidus. Just make him only cast whatever you want him to be. If you think he's more of a mystic, cast him as blue. If you think he's more human, you put him as just a white. But
So what you're saying is basically having everything be a monocolored card.
at least that, and then when you get to your lowers, like your commons, put them as your more multicolor. Like leave Hermaz, like your more common type cards, leave them as multi, and then take your spells and leave them as multi. But then your higher end cards, if you want to do just a straight human deck or a straight mystic deck, you can work with them that way. Because Saline, I mean, you have her as mainly a more of a mystic type color, but she's in the human citizen situation.
Yeah, but if you just take the cards that are human, that have human type abilities, and have those be your solid blue, solid white cards, they produce blue and white. Not only does it make it to where players are going to be incentivized to play mono faction decks, it also prevents other factions from having access to the dual color soul production. So to me, maybe making Tiberius, instead of a blue-white, since his ability has nothing to do with being a human, making him a solid blue card and only being able to provide blue. And I do agree the Overlords, we should change them to providing solid as well. That makes sense to me. And if we make all the solid cards provide solid, all of the solid blue, solid white, so like the mixed color, but not the actual like mixed soul stones, the ones that are like one blue, one white, and a colorless, that can still produce blue, white, and we give it a human or faction specific ability, because then the other decks that use multiple factions won't be interested in playing them anyways. So you're essentially going to be restricted to the point where all of your cards are going to provide one color besides the ones of your main faction identity. So if you have mostly mystics in your deck, you're going to have some dual color cards that provide blue and green, but anything you want to pull from humans or undead was only going to give you a blue or a green. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kill switch, you with me on this? Matt's like, I'm out of here. All right, boys, I'm gonna call it here. Luke, I think the Overlords should have both their faction colors, like Charlie would be 3 blue, white, white, and still make. Oh, I see what you're saying. So the cast cost should be like one of the faction color. Yes, I agree actually with that. That makes sense. Overlords.
What is he saying? Hold on, I missed it.
Just make them mixed. So Charlie would be like 2 colorless, 2 blue, 2 white, or maybe you splash the blue. That would make more sense actually. So you'd do 3 colorless, 1 blue, 2 white to play Charlie, and then you can still justify that she produces 2 colors.
I think, yeah. So I'm assuming you're referring to like the big recognizable characters of the game, like Charlie, Duke Raka.
Mm-hmm.
Those are Overlords.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So
The 6 drops.
I definitely think like something or a character like that, who, in quotes, like is an experienced character of the lore or whatever, world, you know, they could dabble in a second color or something like that. But I feel like if it's anything lesser than that, they should provide mono for the most part. And I guess you could have like some heavy, impactful spells that are also multi-sold or multi-faction, but a majority, I believe, should be mono. Kind of like the difference though with this game that I've noticed, like I said, in Duel Masters, you have to, when you want to play a black spell, as long as you only tap 1 black spell, it doesn't matter if it costs 7, it's good enough. And at Judo, you play as long as you have a black card in the mana zone, you can play it. It doesn't matter if you cast or tap 6 red or 7 red. As long as there's a black card in the mana, your idea for the soul row here is that every card, if it requires blue, blue, green, you must tap a blue, blue, green. So everything being mono could be, well, obviously lesser dual soul will be difficult. So just to like counteract that, not as much dual soul, but just providing enough to be not as powerful, I guess.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Well, because there's some cards that you want to put in multi-faction decks that it's okay for it to be blue-white mixed mana, because that way everything can play it essentially, but an undead deck. So that makes sense to me. So if you have like a card that says all non-dead citizens enter Eager, and it's a blue-white mixed card like Camilla, that card makes sense. But there's just way too many cards that provide 2 colors. And I gotta figure out a way to balance and nerf that. I think a good way is honestly just making abilities that other decks wouldn't be interested in, putting those as the cards that provide 2. So then you're making the, say, mono human deck, you're making their mana basically perfect and super consistent, which in any other game in like a mono deck is exactly what you would get anyways. So like in this game as it currently stands, they're getting no more benefit for fixing than running 2 or 3 factions, which doesn't actually make sense. The mono faction decks should have better soul cost fixing than a 2 faction or 3 faction deck. That's one of the upsides of playing mono. So like when you play red deck wins or you play white weenies or whatever magic equivalent, one of the huge upsides is that you have fast, consistent mana. So yeah, here, let me end the stream so you guys can get on some games with these boys.